Get out of my way.
Well, I did this. Why can't you?
Why can't you?
What? 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 Why can't you? 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 Well, I did this. Why can't you? Have you ever been wrong? I was like, no. Drug.
Oh man.
I'm gonna need you to be drug tested. Why can't I'm gonna need you to be drug? I'm gonna need you to be drug. Why can't you? I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to be drug. Why can't you? I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you.
Why can't you?
Why can't you? I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to be drug. Why can't you? Well, I did this. Why can't you? What? 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 What?
From Universal Studios Hollywood.
Mikey, you're muted.
This is American Gladiator.
He's muted. We have to wait for him. You're still muted, Mikey. I can't hear a word you're saying. Anyway, this
I pressed the mute button on my microphone.
From Universal
This
Studios
production is
Hollywood.
brought to you by... Damn it!
This
I just need to record it. I can't do it live. Something bad happens every time. This Bin Podcast Network production is brought to you by our patrons, whose continued support helps keep the lights on. So thank you, Tons of Mice, LeClaire Vert, Dutch, Ollie Man, Hayden, and Russell. Thank you so much. We love you. Long time. Tim, get me out of here.
All right. We also have members on the YouTube now.
Yes.
Tons of Mice just became one, I think.
He's an independent media fan.
Independent media fan. I don't have the list of the members though, so
We have Bruno, Alistair, Russell, and Tons of Mice.
again, wow. Awesome. So like and subscribe on Patreon to be a patron on there, or become a member on the YouTubes. You get the same stuff no matter what.
You know what I was thinking last night, Tim? While the kid was refusing to go to bed?
What's this?
You know, a lot of the stuff that we don't cover because the internet will just pull us down immediately.
Okay.
Well, they will process videos that have, spicy content, like war-related content or heavily racialized content. But as long as it doesn't go out to the public and there's no ads on it, they don't care. So maybe I'll do like a Mikey, like a midnight Mikey's report. And I can put that up for patrons and stuff like that, just so you can get some of the other news.
Yeah.
That we cannot talk about because YouTube doesn't like it.
Yeah, our more let's call it experimental content we could put behind the paywall, because that way it won't get thrown at us.
Some more revolutionary broadcasts. Well, let's say hello to the lovely people at Jen from France. Vike Stricker.
I don't know who that is.
Tons of Mice. Gilly? Jilly. Jilly? It's Jilly. What do you think? Jilly or Gilly?
I'm gonna go with Gilly.
let us know in the chat. Hello from the UK. And Billy. And Kay. The gang's all here. We're here. Let's do this. Let's get dangerous. Sorry I was late. The kid was still awake at 6 a.m. and I gave up. Like, I just gave up. I was like, here's a bottle. You're in your bed. You can't hurt yourself. There's nothing in here you can hurt yourself with. I have to go to sleep. So I slept for like 4.5 hours. And then she was screaming, already awake, ready to fucking go for day 800. Like, I don't understand this kid.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I was late last week because, or not last week, on Tuesday, because people were taking pictures in my house, and I couldn't do anything about it. So
she says Jill E. But I could just mispronounce that as Jill E. All right, Gilly it is. Fine. I lose. I'm having some tea.
I may randomly disappear for house related reasons for a few minutes again today. So,
and if you are new out there, welcome. Subscribe, like the video, and give it 60 seconds, and then you can join the chat with all of our lovely friends. The 60 seconds I think is fair enough.
Yeah, 60 seconds is just enough to be enraged by whatever we're saying anyway. So,
and I want you to actually let me finish what I'm trying to say in that 60 seconds before you hop in here and just start clowning me. You know?
No, Mikey, that's censoring people. You're censoring them.
Wait, no, Mikey's version is correct. Wait, I was right? Ha! In your face. In your face, Tim. How's your face feel, faceless? I have so little going for me.
Hey, we also have the super chats now. If you want to throw in super chats, we can do that. Cool. Also cool. We very much appreciate all of the financial support that we get from everybody.
Hey, look, the bin is live. No, I'm just kidding. Let's light this candle, shall we?
Let's go. Let's go.
Do this thing.
We've got breaking news to share with you as we are on the air right now. It's in the case of MAHDAWI. He is the Columbia University student who was taken into custody by ICE at what was supposed to be a citizenship interview in Vermont. He is speaking right now. Let's listen.
You know, when the ICE agents went to the courthouse where he was doing his citizenship hearing, and then they grabbed him.
Dude, that happened in Connecticut the other day. They were grabbing someone who was doing that. And it's like, what the fuck? That's their plan, is to wait by the courthouses for people who are doing their citizenship stuff, or they have a court hearing about immigration.
Yep.
Because that's what that judge got arrested over, right? So, like, they're just out there waiting for people to go in and out of courthouses, which is not what you're supposed to do. Like, they're already in court about immigration.
That's the craziest thing that I don't know that enough people are picking up on. While they're so bloodthirsty to deport people, they're trying to grab people right before their immigration court case. Like, brother, what kind of shotgun corner camping asshole do you have to be internally to try to grab somebody on their way to their immigration hearing? Right? Like, they're trying to do what you're asking them to do. They're trying to do the legal way that you prescribe. So you wait outside the courthouse to grab them there. Like, that is some scumbag, low down, low IQ, coward shit, if you ask me. But we go on.
I love you too.
Spoken like a terrorist. Love. So sick of all the love.
I've always learned that home is where you feel safe and loved. And those who surround you there are your people, and you are my people.
Listen to this. Listen to his words of hate. He clearly must be taken from all college kids. This is the nicest guy. Come on, y'all. Just admit you got it wrong. This is a nice guy. Look at his glasses are very intelligent. Eyebrows on fleek. Got a decent shave going on. Got the keffiyeh. Little chest hair popping out. Y'all better be careful. You might run for office. All right, brother. I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna need you to not Mitch McConnell on the mic though. Spit it out, homie. Spit it out.
Vermont.
There we go.
And if you don't know the history of Vermont, you should look up the Underground Railroads to know what Vermont is. If you don't know Vermont, you need to search the history of the civil rights movement and the anti-Vietnam War to understand what Vermont is. In Vermont, we have the people and the representatives, Democrats and Republicans, spiritual people and intellectual people all come together to say, the people united will never be defeated. The people united.
Oh yeah, listen to that. Listen to that rancor. The people united will never be defeated. What a terrible message to be spilling out onto the streets of Burlington, Vermont, while the Dow crashes.
United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Look at the black security guard over here. He's just like, I don't even know why they call me over here. Whatever, I'm getting paid anyway, but I don't even know why they call me.
The people united will never be defeated.
And from this place,
And that's why I think wrestling should be banned. Don't you agree, Tim?
Exactly.
in front of this court,
You didn't miss much. He led everybody into a very horrible chant. Let me run it back for you.
A horrible chant.
Oh yeah, this will put fear in the heart of all Israelis.
all
Is it
come
bunch-
together to say, the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
That's clearly a call to the fall of Western civilization.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, that's why they had to lock him up. And you also missed my great joke about this black security guard who's like, "I'll come over here, but they ain't doing shit. Seems pretty peaceful to me, but all right. I'm still getting overtime, so it's all good."
White people are just the worst at doing chants. They are.
Man, the chants be like 17 syllables and shit. Inflection be all off.
People
United will never be defeated.
They're also not synchronized.
United will never be defeated.
Hey.
and from this
Yo, they stopped on a
place,
dime though.
in front of this court, me standing
That lady with the red hair over his right shoulder looks just like one of my coworkers, and I'm like, is that you?
here in front of you, me standing here with you, among you, sends a clear message. It sends a message that is loud and clear, not only to the Vermonters, but to the rest of America. And the message is, we the people will hold the Constitution accountable for the principles and values that we believe in.
Horrible chant
Oh.
equals no more cheese. No more cheese.
These people are all what, Vermonters? They're all high anyway. Like, I'm surprised they could do anything coordinated.
Just a green cloud around the whole press conference.
That's right.
And we send a clear message as well, that if we have faith
Terrorist hug. It's a takedown.
in our beliefs,
Imagine if the ice got him again right here.
Oh my God.
beliefs, which is the belief that justice is inevitable. We will not fear anyone because our fight is a fight for love, is a fight for democracy, is a fight for humanity.
All right, you've been listening to
All right.
All right. Well, since he cut in, we'll have to cut in.
Yeah, the homie got bail. He's out on bond. He's free.
For now. Until
For now.
ICE arrests him again.
Until they arrest every single person who's clapping right now.
Yeah, those people are all MS-13, I think.
And like we'll use Mosin as a springboard here. They have been going systematically, city by city, county by county, state by state, trying to deputize off the street cops to be ICE agents, which is why sanctuary cities exist. Because for people outside the U.S. who may not get how our police structure is just as complicated as our judicial structure, and there's different levels to everything, and city and municipal and state and all that stuff. Essentially, what Donald Trump and Bulldog Holman are trying to do is they say, hey, just know that if we want to do anything in your city, I want all of your cops to come do what I tell them to do and not do the business of the cops that they would normally do. So hope your banks don't get robbed. Hope, there isn't like road rage incidents. Hope people aren't speeding, because your cops won't be available to take care of any of that. They're going to be kicking in Abuelita's front door and taking the kids and putting them into different separate camps. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they want to do with everybody's cops.
Yeah.
And the reason that they can't do it in places like Boston or Chicago or New York is because they're sanctuary cities, which simply means that city will not help federal agents with resources for any ICE raids, because guess what? They don't have to, brother. Cops are expensive, especially good cops. It costs a lot of money to pay for all that stuff. Unless you plan on paying us for this, you can't just have them. And and it's by law that we don't have to help you. In ACAB, for sure.
And what was I going to say? In New Haven, the original sanctuary city, I might add.
Here we go.
There were a couple of times where I was working at the Congresswoman's office, and they're like, hey, ICE is in New Haven. And the mayor told the police not to cooperate with them. And we also got alerts, and we had call sheets ready in case people called the Congresswoman's office saying ICE is here, they're trying to detain me or whatever. Like, what information should we give them?
Right.
So like there were a couple of times where we were told by the police that ICE was in the town, ICE was in New Haven doing whatever, and nothing ever actually happened because they had zero cooperation.
Yep.
But they were trying to bully the mayor. They were trying to bully the police department into helping them.
Yeah.
And they were trying to bully the schools because Yale's in New Haven.
Yeah.
And when they were doing all that student visa stuff, there were a bunch of students. Oh, they're probably still doing it, but they reinstated some of the students, I heard.
Yeah.
But they're always trying to look for students who had their visas revoked, and now they're illegal immigrants or whatever. Like, it's a complicated situation, but the sanctuary city model, I think, in this case, it is working.
The green cloud in the chat says, buy a cop today, $9.99 per day. Thanks, the green cloud.
I mean, I'll especially say for Boston, the citizens of Boston were like, don't fucking come here.
Dude,
like
it doesn't
like
work.
the people were like, get the fuck. They're like, Mark Homan, if you come into our city, we're gonna fuck you up.
And I was watching a thing, I think it was from the Bulwark. No. It was the Hawk podcast. It was like a short. So I don't know if, again, international people, this might be a bit of a culture shock, but here in the merry old land of England, part 2, the United States, we have this thing called like the castle doctrine, and we have like stand your ground laws.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I'm in favor of it. I'm not saying I'm going to do it for sure, but there's going to come a day where these ICE agents kick in the wrong door because they get an address wrong or something like that. And there's going to be a white dude armed to the teeth who has been dreaming of the day that the American government shows its face as a tyrannical entity, and now they can use all the shit that they have been lying to their wife about buying for years. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to just go into random Americans' houses.
Yeah,
I think it's
definitely
highly,
not.
highly dangerous.
What was I watching yesterday? And did we watch the Marjorie Taylor Greene
No.
talk about? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I was watching this clip the other day where she was sitting in front of a different hearing, and they were asking. I forget who it was. Oh, I forget who was asking her. I think it might have been Raskin,
Yeah.
but he was like,
There's a clip going
So-
around of those two.
yeah. So he was like, so do you want every American to own a gun, since you think that the only people who can stop bad guys with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and these shootings wouldn't happen if every American citizen was armed? And she was like, yeah, I think it's everyone's right to own a gun. And he was like, okay, but this is like directly opposite of something you said before. Like, it wouldn't be good
No.
if all of us were just given guns and then I showed up at the door, like
that's
It
why
just-
that's why the sheriff is the only people who do warrants. That's why the sheriff is the person who evicts people.
right.
Like, it's not just a standard issue cop that's just like, okay, hey, I'm just gonna ring on your doorbell and tell you need to get all your stuff out in 2 hours. We got a super chat. Alastair McCurr, 5 British pounds. I thought some state you're forced to retreat. Oh, in some states you're forced to retreat. Yep, I know about the castle thing. Yeah. It again, it does depend by state, but if someone isn't on your curtilage and you feel fear for your life, I mean, it's pretty ironclad. Like,
I mean, yeah.
maybe if you take out the whole squad, they'll be like, hey, you should have stopped after the first one. But I don't know about that first one.
Yeah, in some states, all you got to shout is, I don't know you, that's my purse.
Texas. Who was the lady in, it was either Texas or Louisiana. Who was the one where they did the no-knock warrant and they were at the wrong house? And
Oh my God.
And she ended up getting shot in bed. I can't even think of her name. I'm so nervous right now. My brain won't work. But
Yeah, I think of it either, but that was a big one because, like, they went to the wrong place. She wasn't even the person that they were after, and they just opened fire.
And well, the boyfriend heard them kicking the door,
Yeah,
and he shot first
right.
and hit one of the cops. The cop didn't die, and then he got shot and he didn't die, but the girlfriend died. Brianna
that
something.
that no-knock warrant thing is crazy.
Oh, they're gonna flush all the drugs down the toilet. Isn't that what you fucking want?
Right.
Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point of drug crime?
Brianna Taylor says
Brianna
K.
Taylor, yes. Yes. Hello, Alistair. Hello, Paul. And someone else joined in too. Who was it? Russell. No, Russell, I said hi to. Who was it? In Minecraft. Yes, in Minecraft. Look at the trees. There we go.
You'll have to excuse Mikey. He doesn't get much sleep these days.
I don't.
And his brain is fried.
It's fractured. Look at the tree, says arm minorities and you will get gun regulation. That's exactly what happened when the Black Panthers were rocking around LA with AKs. Reagan and the bunch were like, we should probably do something about these guns.
Right, exactly.
I don't know if we should let them have all these guns. That is a scary black man. He has a beret on.
But only this country would they pass a national assault weapons ban and then have it sunset and then never reauthorize it.
They're banned in Illinois.
Yeah, I think they're banned in Connecticut too. It's just I think the one of the biggest problems with the gun laws in this country is there aren't any federal regulations on gun trafficking. So our states, Connecticut, Illinois, and California, the states with stricter gun control laws, get all these guns in from states that they don't have those laws.
Indiana,
South Carolina, Texas, like all the illegal
Missouri.
guns in our states come from those states.
Right.
And it makes everyone in our states pissed because we're trying to fix the problem. And it's just getting worse because other states are just loosening their gun laws
But Tim, I can make so much money selling these guns without background checks.
And then our government, we've joked about this a few times, but our government then just like gives a bunch of guns to the cartels and is like, this was part of an operation. And then those guns end up back in the country.
All right. I almost feel like that is a good tangent because I think it perfectly encapsulates what's going on. Let's see if I can find a quick. Oh, dude, how am I going to search this without it fucking giving me the movie?
What movie?
Oh, this will be fun. Don't you know the name of the operation, Tim?
Oh, yes. Operation Fast and Furious, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
you're never gonna be able to search it without getting one of the million Fast and Furious movies.
Is there a quick one? Okay, here's
a quick Fast and Furious movie? No.
Here's a 2-minute
In
video
late 2009, ATF agents in Phoenix noticed a flurry of gun purchases in the United States by suspected traffickers from Mexican drug cartels, including giant .50 caliber rifles.
Yo, the cartels got Barrett 50 cals. They out here with the Halo 2 sniper. What the fuck? Damn.
But instead of stopping the weapons, agents say their superiors ordered them to let the guns cross the border. It's called gun walking. To see where they ended up and see if they
with those when I went through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway,
would lead to a major drug cartel leader. Agents videotaped suspected dealers from Mexican drug cartels buying weapons.
Bro got a whole box that he's just walking through in the open of illegal guns.
The case grew to include thousands of weapons. Then in December 2010, 2 Fast and Furious rifles turned up at the murder of a Border Patrol agent in Arizona, Brian Terry. The Justice Department publicly insisted no gun walking had gone on. That denial prompted one of the lead agents on the case, John Dodson, to step forward and speak to CBS News.
Here I am. Tell me I
rock you like a hurricane.
2011. God, it's so crazy how like screen quality has changed in only like 12, 13 years.
To be fair, we've been stuck at this level for like 5 years.
Yeah.
No, 1080p. We've had 1080p for a long time.
It's just crazy how like 2011 looks like 1995.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's because it was 14 years ago, Tim.
I didn't do the things that I did. Tell me you didn't order me to do the things that I did. Tell me it didn't happen. Now you have a name on it. You have a face to put with it. Here I am. Someone now. Tell me it didn't happen.
CBS News learned there were other alleged gun walking operations dating back to the Bush administration.
Jesus Christ, dude. This is like Call of Duty. Why would you let them do that?
Administration in 2005. No drug kingpins were ever arrested, but the drug cartels became well armed. Records obtained by CBS News show the weapons were used in a U.S. immigration agent's murder last year in Mexico. They were also used.
Fucking look at the tree says COD care package. Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking loadout drop.
By drug cartels that assassinated a Mexican official's brother and attacked 2 Mexican government helicopters. Many of these guns will be on the street for years to come. According to the
That's Fast and the Furious. We were gonna watch the guns go over the border and then track those guns to where they were gonna go. And they said, cool, did you put the trackers in the guns? He said, no, they're not here yet. They get here tomorrow. And it was like, oh, well, I already gave them the guns. I thought the tracker was in them. And they said, oh, did we just arm the cartel to the teeth? And they said, oh.
Yeah, we said crate drop. Here you go.
Sorry, and that I have made mistakes.
But yeah, you know what? It is the fault of these, like, you know, moms with their 3 kids crossing the border to get asylum because they tried to sex traffic her, and she said, fuck that, I'm leaving. I'm coming up to America. We're gonna try to get a fresh start, y'all. Come on, kids. And then they say, yo, you're dangerous. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we armed the cartel that may or may not have been threatening her life.
Right, exactly. And, you know, we have a long history of doing that.
Yep.
Of just maybe not to this silly of an extreme, but we have, you know, armed rebel groups and insurgents, and to try to do regime change or overthrow certain politicians, and or just try to cause havoc in Central and South America, and it never really ends well for us.
Never works.
Or the people who live in those countries.
Okay, we got more to get to, Tim. Don't get bogged down in distractions.
Speaking of not working out well for people,
this is very. I'm gonna kill the audio because here, I'll let you hear it for a second. Yeah, we're gonna kill the audio.
Sounds like a fucking plane is taking off.
Well, they are on the tarmac. You can see all these very normal people in suits, totally not Secret Service. Trump walking like a.
I want to put some kind of like. I want to put kind of like some fucking dub over what Trump is trying to say over there, because it looks like he's trying to say a whole bunch of things, but.
Hold on, let me take a sip. I'll do it.
Oh, we should have Mark here for this.
Ready. Oh God, that step's tall. Oh, my hips. I would like to smell the hand that you just saluted with. And you, I don't like you. You're taller than me. I don't respect anybody. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Black Power, I think. You guys remember Black Power? I don't. It was all right. It was all right. I love you. I love me. I love Black Power. It's over there. That is a shitty salute. Ugh, my joints. That's what he's saying.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
But this, hi Chrissy in the chat. This is why we wanted to show you guys that you guys have been giving Elon this fucking rude ass robot treatment, like he is not a human man. He's totally normal.
He is a human man with feelings.
He is a normal man with normal impulses. So how dare you? Oh God.
First of all, I would like to comment on the way he's walking.
Like a robot?
Why is his back like curved like that?
Alistair, 5 pound super chat. You just reminded me of a scene in Lord of War, the U.S. general getting rid of M4 rifles after U.S. troops left a country. Yes. Yeah, and guess what? That has happened in recent times. It starts with a U. Can you guys guess where we literally just did that? We literally just did that because we have the defense contractors who have the XM series of rifles and everything that they want to transition us all into, or our military into. Ukraine! It was the Ukraine. That's what we did with all of our old stuff so that we could upgrade. And then Trump decided to hold that over their head. But anyway, this very human person.
He walks like he has a literal stick up his ass.
Why is he wearing boots still? Like, dude, he thinks boots are fucking cool. I bet that's what it is. He thinks black leather boots make him look cool because that's what his characters have in the video games that he pays other people to level up for him in. And his, like, dude, I get liposuction, but brother, how do you have chest fat? Like, the belly fat is gone, like, but his chest fat is still there. Like, I don't get it. And this dude probably got all our fucking data.
Not your data, dumbass.
That's what's in that blue bag. All of our shit. So here we got, and that's Carolyn Levitt in front of him. Now look here. I'm the biggest feminist you will find this side of the Mississippi. Guaranteed. But I'm still a guy, and I know I hate Carolyn Levitt. She is so despicable. But she is wearing some pretty tight leather pants, as you can see. And here comes Elon walking up right behind her.
Yeah, I would like to say that Elon's got, like, he knows. He sees it. He sees what's going on.
Her butt is right there, and it is in some tight leather pants. Now let's see Elon's very human, very real man response.
I'm Idris Elba. I goes where I goes.
Chrissy just became a thin cider.
Welcome. So, oh wait, let's just see his very real response to this leather-bound butt right in his face, because of the stairs.
Oh, can't look there. Can't look there. Can't look there.
I will look at the sun. I will stare at the sun.
World's richest man. Looking anywhere but.
Anywhere but.
Now, we briefly talked about this before we went on the air. Is it because she would absolutely murder him?
She'd crush him. And she's like 29. Did you know she's like 29?
Yeah.
That's so sad. Thank you, Chrissy. We love you.
She would absolutely murder him if he was like, hey, nice ass.
Dude, we can say the R word now. We can drop the F-bomb on gay people now. Slap her ass and call her Toots. You're a man, right? Like, hey, Toots, I'm going first. No. He won't. Does he not swing his arms when he walks? He barely does. That left arm.
He barely does. He's walking like chest puffed out so much that like his back is arched.
You know what
he's
it
trying
is?
to look.
It's when the gorillas at the zoo walk on their feet like upright, and you're like, oh, look at him. He's doing pretty good walking like a person. That's how Elon normally walks.
Elon, just walk like the fucking nerd computer geek that we all know that you are. Just like do the slouch that everyone else does. And just walk like a human.
He probably just goes around in like an office chair with wheels. Like that's just how he's used to getting around. All right, one more time. Like he looks like a gorilla in a human suit.
He just looks like he's trying too hard.
Arm barely swinging.
And then he notices her ass and he's like, oh shit, I shouldn't look there. I can't look there. I can't look there. Where's the sun? Find the sun. There we go.
That didn't feel good to my eyes. Dunn says Elon Observation Program 7. Do not stare at dark moon. Observe sun.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
That is just another one of the million. And we're going to listen. There's another awkward Elon moment coming up.
Russell nails it. That's a corset look. Does he have the little underwear that like pulls up? You know what I'm saying? Like it pulls. It's like long underwear, but it's like a wetsuit pant. And you put it on and it's tight around your thighs, but then it goes up over past your belly button.
I'm Idris Elba.
To grab the.
I goes where I goes.
Ooh, got another member. Oh,
we got a bunch of new members. We have a benefactor. On memberships.
Alistair, thank you so much. Chris C. I can't wait for this week to finish. Well, I just want to crawl into bed and stay there. We're gonna give you some hope today, I think. So,
I'm Idris Elba.
Scott.
I goes where I goes.
Jenny. SG. 1A repaired. Al Trucker. All got gifted memberships. Oh my god, we should get an Oprah clip.
Oh my god, you get a membership. Yeah. And you get a membership.
I love it. We're going to have to do an episode for all the members.
We are going to have to do an episode for all the members. Ooh, okay, so I won't be as busy starting next week. Mm-hmm. We could totally do that.
Okay. I forgot what joke I was on.
I forgot what joke you were on, too.
Thank you for the 5 gifted, Alistair. Love you. Okay, we had a laugh.
Do you think he got in the plane and talked to her and was like, hey, just to let you know, I didn't look at your ass at all.
I just want you to know that I did not look at your ass.
I respect you as a person and as a woman.
Yeah, that's totally what he said. He said Elon wearing Spanx. Them spanky banky. It's not genuine leather. I bet it's faux leather. Yeah, she's not cool enough to pull off, you know, full on leather. She don't know how to take care of those. Oh, and then look at the tree says Elon has had more gender affirming care than his trans daughter, and she is cooler than him. She is pretty cool. I watched her do that interview with Hassan Piker, and it was hilarious.
Yes. Yes.
Hilarious. She's like, yo, yeah. He would try to come into like me and my brother's room and be like, hey, let's play Overwatch. And we'd be like, no, dude, you suck. And I'm like, yes, roast him. No one wants to play with you, bad kid. Get some skill. Okay. Tim, your savior.
My savior?
Your motherfucker. You heard me.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Your Democratic savior is back. Now shut up. What do you love, Hamas?
I do not support Hamas.
Another Hassan Piker thing real quick. So instead of saying condemn Hamas, which is what we were going to put on a t-shirt, but it's like less funny now because they'll like deport you. So we won't put that on a t-shirt. I think the t-shirt was like, ... but do you condemn Hamas?
Yeah.
So instead of saying condemn Hamas, he's been saying condom hummus. He's like, oh, he's going to hit him with the condom hummus. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, oh, condemn Hamas. Got it. But this lady had no problem condoming hummus. And she is going to let you guys know what to do now. I'm going to skip through all of these applauses. So get ready for some jerky audio. Because she did not talk for 17 minutes. She talked for about 5 minutes. So there's going to be a lot of clapping. Oh, wait, one more from Tons. Elon, vocal program 3. I observed your ass. Would you like to see recording? Reboot. Dude, what if he's got a neuro chip? That would explain some things.
For sure he does. For sure he does. He put one of them in them as soon as it wasn't killing the monkeys anymore.
Maybe it killed him. Maybe the chip's in charge.
Maybe he's a body double.
Maybe the chip has stolen his body.
Oh,
we need to make more chips. Everyone make more chips. I need
really
a family.
close to like a Rick and Morty episode.
Let me start burping.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
That's how I start the show. Hi, everyone.
She shouldn't be so happy. She lost.
Good to be home.
I really have to say, before we get into this,
yes, sir.
Her tone is all wrong. Her tone is... Why would you be... I realize it's been some months. However, she lost.
It's the place that she's in.
Where is she that everyone's like, oh my God, Kamala Harris?
I don't remember what Emerge is for. Let's see. Emerge America, an organization that recruits and trains Democratic women to run for office, is expected to be her most extensive public remarks. Okay. Yeah, but it's like it's pretty much like a lobbying group for women politicians, and they like have a meeting and like they had her come. You know what I mean? So like this is kind of their debutante's ball, and she hasn't been to the last couple, and now they've invited her back.
I see.
So that's why she's happy to be here. That's why she's like, it's good to be home and like that kind of shit. Rick and Morty episode 77, the Rick Elonification.
And thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, your babies are grown.
Yes.
Supporting Emerge. It is so wonderful to be home and to be back with all the leaders who are, which is an organization of so many exceptional leaders.
They're clearly eating dinner. Somebody clacking knives and fucking
support them.
That's the worst when you have speakers while you're eating dinner. You're just trying to eat, and then people are talking at you, and it's just like, let me have 5 minutes.
And as a short order cook, and you've been to culinary school.
Yeah.
Do not distract my eaters. They need to focus on my flavor profile. They got shit to do. I got pairings out there.
We gotta get that fucking table turned over. They can't be distracted by eating.
Yeah. Or they can't get distracted by listening to your long ass speech. Hurry the fuck up.
We gotta make money.
We gotta move these tabletops, baby.
I will say something you
get that six top out of here now.
No, throughout my entire career and life, I have always believed in the ideals of our nation. The ideals reflected in the Declaration of Independence.
Communist.
Oh, wait. I got that.
No person. She's a Marxist.
All are created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. Ideals advanced and affirmed by the service and sacrifice of generations of patriots. The ideals that ground the Constitution of the United States, that here in our country, power ultimately lies not with the wealthy or well-connected, but with all of us, with we the people.
She's saying she's not wealthy or well-connected. Is that what she's trying to imply?
Also, quick question. How come she didn't say any of this shit during the election?
If and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
If her platform was, hey, we have a constitution and it's not for the wealthy, I think more people would have voted for her instead of having fucking Liz Cheney up on stage.
Billy accurately puts it in the chat. She lying.
She lying.
Now, of course, I recognize that America has never fully lived up to these ideals, that for all the gains we've made, the American dream has for decades been slipping further out of reach for so many, and that the American people deserve leaders who make their lives better and make our country stronger. But sadly, we have seen quite the opposite over these past few months. Now, I know tonight's event happens to coincide with the 100 days after the inauguration.
I love Tesla.
And I'll leave it to others to give a full accounting of what has happened so far.
She's very busy not doing anything.
Yeah, she's very busy not being in public in the last 100+ days.
It's not like it's been like fucking a shit show the entire time.
Yeah, where was she, the day after she was no longer vice president?
I hate how they fucking go into hiding after that. Oh, they're gonna go lick their wounds. We might see them in a year or so. No, bitch. You just asked for fucking $2 billion fucking dollars. Get your ass out on fucking YouTube and say some shit. God damn. It ain't crazy. Ain't nobody asking you to fucking build a bridge by yourself. We're saying get your ass in public and make people feel that there is some sort of light at the end of this fucking tunnel.
This is like a weird, this is a weird thing that people do, right? And in politics, and for some reason in professional wrestling, like if you become unpopular, not because you're supposed to be, not because if you're wrestling and you're and you're a good guy, but you become unpopular and the crowd starts booing you and they don't like you, and it's not because you're becoming a bad guy, but because you're just not the person they want to see anymore. The thought process is go away, make people miss you.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens in politics too. Go away, make people miss you. Hillary Clinton tried to do it. Joe
and
Biden
she came
tried
back
to
to
do
booze.
it. Right. I don't think it works that way anymore. I don't think if you go away and you hide in the woods for 6 months, that when you come back, people are going to be like, oh my God, Kamala Harris, you're back. Where were you?
Oh, not being stressed.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Where do you tell them you were? I was just hanging out, not just really getting my mental health together,
I went off the grid.
Yeah.
I decided to become a survivalist for the last 4 months.
I met a yogi up in the mountains. I'm doing some ayahuasca. I really see I can see the veil.
Not that she was sitting in her California mansion somewhere.
Her and Dougie were going to the Warriors games.
And that anything that she is doing isn't horribly politically calculated. I don't mean to be cynical towards all politics, but that's how it is. This was calculated. This was her first major speech. She wanted it to coincide, I'm sure, with Trump's first 100 days so she could talk shit about him.
Yep. And Tim, don't feel bad about being negative about our politicians. It's not being negative. It's called honesty.
In all honesty, this is incredibly calculated, and everything she's about to say is incredibly calculated.
But I will say this.
Yeah, calculated something.
Instead of an administration working to advance America's highest ideals, we are witnessing the wholesale abandonment of those ideals.
Oh.
And what we are also seeing in these last 14 weeks is Americans using their voice and showing their courage. We all know President Trump and his administration and their allies are counting on the notion that fear can be contagious. They are counting on the notion.
The one boo is my favorite.
Boo.
Thought for sure everybody was joining in on that boo, didn't you?
Oh man, if I was there, there'd be a what chant? What?
That if they make some people afraid,
What?
it will have a chilling effect on others.
What?
I love Tesla.
What they're overlooking, what they have overlooked, is that fear is not the only thing that's contagious.
She's right. The measles, actually. The measles are actually highly contagious. 9 out of 10 people exposed to the measles will contract the measles, even if you have a vaccination. It's very contagious.
Very, incredibly.
Courage is contagious.
Oh, courage. You know what the vaccine for courage is? The DNC.
Does that cause autism too?
Probably.
Courage of
We'll know in September.
Americans who are banding together in the face of the greatest man-made economic crisis in modern presidential history. Americans.
Yeah, in your face, Brexit.
But them's the breaks.
Across the political spectrum who are declaring that the president's reckless tariffs hurt workers and families by raising the cost of everyday essentials, devastate the retirement accounts that people spent a lifetime paying into, and paralyze American businesses, large and small, forcing them to lay off people, to stop hiring or pause investment decisions. The courage of Americans we are seeing who are rallying at Social Security offices to protect their hard-earned benefits. Of Americans who are speaking out to say, it is not okay to violate court orders. Not okay.
I'll just chime in one thing real quick. Every time Trump does that, he is rolling the dice, man. Like, he don't get it. Like, he thinks like he's unstoppable and he can just like say and do whatever he wants because the Supreme Court. I mean, if one of them judges scoops him up and puts him in jail, he's gonna be in jail until the Supreme Court comes and lets him out. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that works both. That cuts both ways. You know, the radical judges that he's talking about might do some radical shit. They've been doing shit by the books thus far. What if they start going outside the color of law and then they wait for the Supreme Court to stop them? It's a dangerous game you're playing. Well, while Tim's away, I will read the chat. Chris C says, so she has the American people deserve leaders. She says that the American people deserve leaders who will make the ordinary American's life better. So why not say that during the election campaign? Why not shout about the Democrats' achievements? Why not distance yourself from fucking Joe Biden and say, cool, we survived under Joe, but here's my plan for what we're going to do going next. And we didn't get a lot of that. We got a lot of them, the Democrats, playing ping pong with Trump, where Trump would say something crazy and then they would just kind of, you know, oh, this is my rebuttal to that. They didn't have a thing that they were saying that they were going to do out front and then attacking on the periphery. They just, you know, played defense the whole time and figured that'll be enough. That was the wrong answer.
Are we talking about wrestling again?
Yes. When voting for politicians, you can choose your enemies, and that's why they act like our friends. Mm-hmm. This is the same problem labor has at the moment. They are not shouting about the achievements in the past 7 months. They are more bothered about the gammon vote that they bring in cruel prowess. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, instead of doing work and letting the work be your propaganda piece, where people are just excited about the stuff that you're providing for their community and letting that be enough. They were like, but I have Liz Cheney.
Yeah, I suppose my biggest problem with all of this is that not only did the Democrats fuck up the election by having Joe Biden try to run again and then halfway through saying, oh yeah, no, he is too old to run for president. I guess Kamala Harris will have to pick up the slack, and then running the most uneven presidential campaign I've seen in quite some time, where the first half of her campaign, really great, lots of energy.
Tim Walz was crushing it.
Tim Walz was crushing it. And then after her debate with Trump, they seem to say, let's stop calling the Republicans weird.
Which was working.
Which was working and really well, by the way. Mm-hmm. Like, they had nothing.
Like, I think it's weird that they keep trying to like look into the little girl's bathroom. Don't you think that's weird? And they're like, no, we didn't, we weren't looking in there.
Like, isn't JD Vance fucking weird? Yeah.
I'd love to debate him if he could make it off the couch. Like, that shit crushed.
They went from being a very energetic, very mobilizing campaign where especially women were on board 100%.
Yeah.
To trying to get conservatives and Republicans to buy into something they were never going to buy into.
Ever.
And they said, forget the progressives. We'll go after the Liz Cheneys of the world and try and get Republicans to vote for someone who's not a Republican, who's not going to give them what they want, and who's up against Trump, who's going to promise them everything and obviously not deliver any of it.
But, how dare you?
Yeah, right. And her campaign just sort of got like lost in the messaging of, hey, Republicans, you can vote for Democrats too, because we have Liz Cheney and these other people.
We're vetted.
And then, yeah, it was just the consultant class in the DNC fucked up. And the Democrats should be held accountable for the amount of fucked up they were in that campaign the whole time. Not running a primary and then switching gears twice during a campaign is ridiculous
and unnecessary and ineffective.
So Kamala Harris coming up here and like being like, oh, there's people have courage for protesting. They wouldn't fucking have to.
I haven't seen her at any protests, just saying.
Right. They wouldn't fucking have to if Joe Biden had just stepped aside and not tried to run for a second term, and we could have actually had an entire campaign instead of 3 different campaigns.
After year 1, they should have been prepping for year 2 primary.
Yeah.
And then they can start the typical 18-month, thing after 6 months of planning. This is easy. This is easy to solve and figure out. They just refused to do it because they didn't feel like they had to. They're in charge, so they'll decide what happens next.
I find this to be very disingenuous.
I think Biden should not have run for a second term in the first place. Exactly. But after his horrendous debate performance, what was it, like 10 days later, he went out there holding Jill Biden's hand, talking about, I'm running. I'm never going back. I'm gonna do it. And it's like, all right, we're doomed, but what the fuck?
And then a week later, he was like, I guess I won't do that. I guess Kamala can do it.
That was the moment. Like as soon as he like balked on running again, I knew we were cooked. From that very fucking moment, I was like, we just lost.
Yeah.
As soon as it happened, I was like, we just lost. Because we're fucked. He ain't gonna win. Anyway.
Saying it is not okay to detain and disappear American citizens or anyone without due process. The courage of judges to uphold the rule of law in the face of those who would jail them. Of universities that are defying unconstitutional demands that threaten the pursuit of truth and academic independence. And I will tell you, the courage of all these Americans inspires me. And I have been
You're supposed to be the inspiration, not be inspired.
Yeah. She was supposed to be the one to stop all this.
Bring balance to the force.
by the movements like the one in Wisconsin that put Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court. By the state of the people power.
Wasn't that like a month ago? God, life is weird now, man.
Yeah, everything seems... Time is distorted in the Trump-verse.
We're in a warped time bubble.
That is aiming to ignite a grassroots movement to lift up voices and advance freedom and justice. And by leaders across the spectrum, including congressional leaders like Cory Booker, Chris Van Hollen, Chris Murphy, Jasmine Crockett, Maxwell
Elon Musk. I'm gonna say it 50,000 times.
Sanders.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh.
All who, in different ways, have been speaking with moral clarity about this moment. So here's my...
And that's why I'm going on tour with AOC to make sure that she has everything that...
Right, where's she on the... Is she on the Bernie AOC tour?
No, she's on the abundance plan.
All right, so are we talking about the book Abundance here?
Yeah.
Because I have that book.
That's the new DNC formula. Let me see. You got it there?
I have it somewhere. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Holding on.
Oh.
He can't hear me. Tim sucks. I hate Tim. Tim's a bitch. Fucking nerd. Fucking weird ass nerd. Fucking hat. Beard motherfucker. Can't stand his punk hoe ass. Always. Hey, bud.
What?
Huh? Nothing.
Listen, don't talk about me when I'm not here. We're talking about the Ezra Klein book, Abundance.
Yes. And about how the Democrats have a path forward as long as they leave the back door open for corporate America to steal everything.
I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it's coming. Spoiler alert.
I'm still on the chapter called The Problem with Lawn Sign Liberalism.
Oh, man. I didn't pull up a clip for it, but did you see that Trump put fucking wanted posters damn near on the White House lawn with those little,
yes.
They're like 4-foot signs and they got like the little stakes that go on the grass or whatever. Yeah. All over the White House lawn. Between the fucking used Teslas and the fucking yard signs, we are like trailer trash right now. Like we are looking like absolute Jerry Springer rejects. Brother, get that shit off the lawn. Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
Once I finish the book, I'll give my review on it, I think, on the show, because it is something that people are talking about.
Ooh, I got a book to do.
You do have a book to do.
The true story of mass avian murder and the largest surveillance campaign in U.S. history. I will be doing an episode of Tim's show after I
Yes.
finish reading that book.
Yes.
If I ever sleep.
Who sent you that book, Monkey?
Tons of mice.
Have you ever been wrong? I was
Oh,
like,
wrong one.
No.
Well, I did this. Why can't you?
She's almost done here.
One of the other things I wanted to talk about tonight and to highlight. So look, some people are describing what's been happening in recent months as absolute chaos. And of course I understand why. And it's certainly true of those tariffs.
One angry pagan, there you go.
Tariffs that, as I predicted, are clearly inviting a recession.
You didn't predict shit.
Friends, please
She did.
let us not be duped.
She said that in the campaign, or during the debate. They're like, oh yeah, all the economists say that mine will increase GDP growth by 2.5%, 3%. You're going to cause a recession. He's like, that's not real. None of that happened.
To thinking everything is chaos.
Like, even without the tariffs, we already knew that this asshole didn't know what he was talking about with the economy. Like, he doesn't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we all already knew. Well, some of us already knew.
Most of us knew.
Most of us knew that tariffs equal higher product prices equals recession. So it's not a prediction. It's more of a spoiler.
Right. Super chat. You got it? You want me to do it? Can you see it?
I see it. You do it. You got it.
Darren. Ooh. A star.
Yeah, I wanted you to do that first.
10 British pounds. I know it's serious, but you two are making me laugh a lot today. Thank you. Well, thank you. That's the goal.
That's how we get through it.
That's the amount of crippling mind information rot is, and this kid won't let me sleep. So it is. It has been a rough 2 years over here. You know what I mean?
I spent a weekend with a bunch of political scientists who were basically freaking out about this. All this stuff that's happening. Like, Trump is like upending political thought in this country as well. And I don't know how many people I spoke to from different universities, professors and students who are just like, we're already in a constitutional crisis.
Correct.
And it's a big problem, and we don't know what to do about it. Like,
it hasn't happened before.
This is he is a real problem.
I know it may feel that way.
No, he is.
But understand what we are in fact witnessing.
Don't tell me how I feel.
Is a high velocity event where a vessel is being used for the swift implementation of an agenda that has been decades in the making.
Fascism.
An agenda to slash public.
Pretty soon we're going to become this country.
An agenda to shrink government and then privatize its services.
It's bad and wrong.
All while giving tax breaks to the wealthiest among us.
That's all. There are plenty of things that are bad and wrong, but
By
it
the
doesn't make
way,
them facts.
an agenda that is not lowering costs.
What are you talking about? Gas is down 3,500%. Eggs are down 2,000,000.3%.
Not making life more
Bowler Hat Man.
affordable.
Hi, Ollie.
And not what they promised. It's an agenda, a narrow, self-serving vision of America, where they punish truth tellers, favor loyalists, cash in on their power, and leave everyone to fend for themselves. All
I thought she was talking about the DNC.
while abandoning allies and retreating from the world.
Oh, she is talking about the DNC and Trump. See, that's the main reason why the DNC hates Trump. He's doing the exact same shit that they do to progressives.
Yeah, yeah.
And they didn't like it.
who was it? I don't know if you saw this, Mikey, but there was James Carville did an interview on Newsmax, I think.
Yeah.
Or News Nation with Chris Cuomo, and he was and he was like, if progressives don't like it, go form your own fucking party. Go, if you don't like what's going on in the DNC, David Hogg and everyone, get out and go and form your own fucking party.
I'm sick of that little twerp.
Yeah, and like, first of all, James Carville hasn't been relevant in political circles since the fucking 90s. Yeah,
or 94.
So his strategy of pushing a Southern conservative governor in the Democratic Party may have worked in the fucking 90s, but it's fucking 2025, bro. There's a progressive wing of this party that really needs more than what the DNC is giving them.
They refuse to. Because they're in power, and of the DNC, like the liberals, they don't feel like they have to or need to cede any ground to progressives.
Yeah.
There's not enough of you to get me out of my position, so therefore my position is correct.
And, you know, they don't like David Hogg's idea of primarying Democrats, but
the do-nothing Democrats, he calls them.
Yeah, they need to be challenged.
We don't have space for them to be doing nothing.
Right. They need to be challenged. We can't have the fucking, I forget what was the name of the guy we watched this town hall where he was like,
Ivy.
You know, Ivy, yeah. Where he was like, I don't have to be doing this. I could be making a lot more money in the private sector. I'm doing this for you. And the people in his constituency are like, we need money because we're poor, and we need services because we're poor, and you don't seem to care.
Will you stop taking APAC? No.
Right. So I'm not saying that every Democrat is bad. There are good ones out there, and Kamala mentioned them. But
I don't like Elon Musk. I'm gonna say it 50,000 times.
But there are some Democrats that need a fire lit under them, and if a primary is going to do that, then let's go for it, because now is the time for the Democrats to stop being so complacent.
It's time to put up or shut up.
The Chuck Schumers of the world need to get out of the fucking way if they're going to capitulate to everything that Trump does.
That's why I don't think that AOC should run. Wait, I said her name.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh,
I don't think that she should run for president in 2028. I think she should run for Senate, and she should first remove Schumer, because the last thing we need is fucking Schumer at the helm with AOC as president. I would much rather have AOC at the helm with Walz or not Gavin Newsom, but anyone but Gavin Newsom.
AOC would never be. She would never be majority leader. It goes to usually the oldest serving, like the longest serving member in the Senate. So whoever's next longest serving after Schumer would probably get it. AOC would be a freshman senator. I don't know. There's a shit ton of them, so it could really be anyone.
Who?
It might be like.
Is the? How would I even ask that? Like, what am I looking? The length of time for each senator?
I think who are the most senior Democrats in the Senate? That's the question. Who are the most senior Democrats in the Senate?
All right. It says. Okay.
Oh, those are just senior House members or Senate members in general.
Yeah.
So Patty Murray. So some of these people don't matter, but see, Schumer's the 8th most senior, and he's a Democrat. So
Durbin's leaving.
Durbin's leaving. It's not going to be Jack Reed. Rhode Island. Nobody cares about Rhode Island. It's a mix of seniority and like how much like political power you have. So it could be John Thune. No, that's Republican.
Yeah.
Klobuchar.
Nah.
Klobuchar or White House?
Nah, they can both step aside.
Yeah, you got Jean Shaheen.
Jeez.
Kristen Gillibrand.
Is she still
Blumenthal? Blumenthal's a good one. He's old as fuck.
No, that's your guy. No, you good.
You know what? Chris Murphy could make a run for it. But he's pretty down there. There's a lot of people in line ahead of him.
Damn.
Warren.
Ted Cruz and Elizabeth Warren came in on the same day.
Yeah. They were part of the same
Cory Booker
class.
was later.
So,
and Tim Scott. Ugh.
It's not a hard and fast rule, but usually like the leadership roles go to the senior members. And AOC would be coming in as like a freshman senator.
Who cares?
No, I'm just saying that's
I'm not saying
that's
you're the
way it
bad
goes.
person. I'm just saying like who like at this point who fucking cares? Let her come in as a freshman and then fucking run that shit. She's been in the house long enough. Ugh. So who's the lowest? Moody from Florida. Oh,
Yeah,
she just got there.
Moody,
She just got there like 4 months ago. Okay. Well, now we know. And now we know.
Bible. Why would you burn a Bible? I would never burn a Bible.
And folks, what we are experiencing right now
Gas.
is exactly what they envisioned for America. Right now, we are living in their vision for America.
So she read Project 2025 after the election.
We have a very important chat coming in from Russell. Ooh, only 24 watching Gramstream now, 28 watching The Bin.
I told you we were going to beat Graham at some point.
But do also subscribe and like and comment on Politics Social UK, please and thank you. Our friends.
Go and like and subscribe there, and then come back here.
And then come right back.
But this is not a vision that Americans want.
Well, some Americans.
We are living in a moment when the checks and balances upon which we have historically relied have begun to buckle. And we...
Buckle?
They
shattered, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
they're gone.
They exploded.
There's pieces everywhere.
Here know that when the checks and balances ultimately collapse, if
It's already
Congress
happened.
fails to do its part, or if the
Already
courts
happened.
fail to do their part,
It's about to happen.
or if both do their part,
Nah,
but the president defies them anyway,
been done.
well, friends, that is called a constitutional crisis.
Already there.
We know.
And that is a
We didn't hide for 100 days, so we know.
crisis.
We've been out there.
that
We haven't
will
been living under a rock.
eventually impact everyone.
Already
I don't
been
think
there.
Because
she's
it
drunk,
would
Billy.
mean that the rules that protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, that ensure each of us has a say about how our government works, will no longer matter. And if that happens, the one check, the one balance, the one power that
All right,
must
pause this for a
not
second. She's going to say it's the American people. I just want to put that out there.
You calling it?
I'm calling it. It's the American people. She's going to be like, it's you. Like Keith Olbermann. It's you. You can be angry.
Good night and good luck.
fail is the voice of the people.
Tim, because you guessed it, you get this amazing prize.
Sucking us dry and...
Oh, God damn it.
Good job.
And look,
Congratulations.
look, right now I know a lot of folks are wondering what's going to guide us through this moment. How are we all going to figure out how to chart the course?
Notice how she didn't say, people are asking me. No one's
People
asking
have asked me, what the fuck are we going to do? And I'm like, I don't know.
But that's not a reason to throw up our hands. In fact, please allow me, friends, to digress for a moment. Okay. It's kind of dark in here, but I'm asking a show of hands. Who saw that video from a couple of weeks ago? The one of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo during the earthquake?
Okay. The elephants make a circle because there was an earthquake. They didn't know what was going on, so they have this thing called a safety circle or like a danger circle. So the babies go in the middle, and then all of the adults put their stankin' elephant asses all around the child, which saves the child from any, like, you know, I say child, the baby, the adolescent elephant.
It's the
like
small
elephant goes in the middle of the circle, and all the big ones make a circle around it.
Yeah, it's a circling the wagons metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a metaphor for a metaphor.
Those who try to incite fear are most effective when they divide and conquer, when they separate the herd, when they try to make everyone think they are alone. But in the face of crisis, the lesson is don't scatter. The instinct has to be to immediately find and connect with each other.
Mikey,
and
I got something for you.
Okay.
In the chat.
Okay. I should do it right now?
You should do it right now.
Oh, who's this young man?
And now I'm going to tell you something that very few people in Congress would tell you. If you are the Republican leadership, and this is what your goals are.
2003.
Man, what if
2003.
Imagine if we got this Bernie. Man, that would have been something, huh?
Your goals are to give huge tax breaks to the very richest people in this country. Your goals are ultimately to privatize Social Security so that Wall Street can make money from that. Privatize Medicare so the insurance companies can make more money. Privatize education. Do away with public schools. If those are your goals and you said that to the American people, you think you get a lot of lower? There are many members of the Congress today, Republicans, who not only will not raise the minimum wage, which is $5.15 an hour, you know what they will tell you?
Jesus fucking Christ.
$5.15 an hour? Oh my God. In 2003?
Brother. Facebook was already out. People are making billions of dollars a year. And y'all got that shit working at $5.15.
God damn.
My first job, I think I got $6 an hour.
For Christy in the chat, the current federal minimum wage is $8.25 an hour.
Progress.
God.
You honestly?
Dude, this place sucks, brother. This place sucks, dude. Everything about this place sucks. I hate this. This sucks.
Believe in abolishing the minimum wage. Did you know that? Check it out. Telling you the truth. So that if Americans can work for $3 an hour or $2 an hour, not a problem. Now, if you had an agenda like that and you went before the American people, tax break.
Hey, but no tax on tips. They do make $2 and $3 an hour, Bernie. Actually, now I think about servers and bartenders. Yeah, that's about right.
For the rich, destruction of Medicare, destruction of Social Security as we know it.
So in 22 years, the minimum wage has gone up by $3. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. And then they're
sucks.
like, why don't you support what we're doing? It's like, because there's barely anything there. You've just given everything to corporations and you haven't given the people a damn thing. Even Obamacare, the only thing that was kind of like redeemable out of Obamacare was that, you know, they couldn't kick you off of your insurance policy because you got pregnant or you had diabetes or you're a cancer survivor. Like they weren't picking up people who used to have cancer, got surgery, like let's say it's breast cancer or something, like they find a cancerous node in the breast tissue, they have surgery, or the lady has a mastectomy and she's cancer free. Nothing in her cell, nothing in her blood. Just because she had cancer, the insurance companies were like, no, you're on your own. So then every time she went to the hospital for treatment, it was cash. Because no insurer would pick them up. The ACA prevented them from doing that. That is the only thing that has come out in 22 years for the American people. Everything else has been garbage.
And just not to go on too much of a tangent, because it's already a tangent on top of a tangent, but
we are tangenting.
Yeah. States have their own minimum wages. So like not every state has the federal minimum wage. Connecticut, they've recently tied the minimum wage to the cost of living, so it goes up a little bit every year. I think our minimum wage is like $16 now. I don't know what it's like in the great state of Illinois.
Thank you.
But some states have the minimum wage.
15.
Yeah, so it's not like that everywhere, but the southern states, yeah, it's $8.25 an hour.
Lowering the minimum wage or abolishing it, how many votes do you think you'd get? Not a whole lot. Maybe the richest 1% would vote for you. But that's not a lot of votes. So what do? Got a problem. You package it. How do you package it? And here's, I want you to pay attention to me.
In drugs. I mean, nothing.
This is bad stuff. I don't mind debating people who say, I was on a Hannity show, Sean Hannity yesterday, and Hannity, extreme right-wing guy, he thinks he loves these tax breaks for the rich and so forth, so we had a little bit of a discussion about that. Actually, it was a loud
Hannity
discussion.
yelled at him for a while. Yeah, Hannity yelled at him.
But I don't mind people who are upfront about that. Okay, give the rich more tax breaks, we can argue that. But that doesn't win you elections. So this is what you do. What you do is divide people up. When you asked me your question, how do I get elected? I said, I try to bring people together. We fight for women's rights. We support the rights of minorities. We support the rights of workers. We bring the majority of people together. And occasionally, honest people will have differences of opinion. In this room, there will be differences of opinion. But everybody in this room is in agreement that everybody should have health care, right? Question number 2, should we increase funding for education or should we lower funding for education? Raise your hand if you think we should increase funding for education. Okay, you're on the side of the vast majority of Americans. Okay.
Ask the other side.
So on those issues, we bring people together. Now, what do the Republicans try to do? And they use it in what we call, kind of language that they don't, not upfront about. What do we do? We divide people up by races. Affirmative action becomes one issue.
Poll says it's 11 pounds an hour in the UK. I don't know what that converts to. Is that like, that's probably like 14 bucks.
That's probably like 13 or 14 bucks an hour.
Did you know the calculator app on your Microsoft thing also does currency?
It'll do currency. I probably did know that, but
what did you say it was? 11?
11, yeah.
Oh, we almost nailed it. So it's about the same as Illinois. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All them black people are getting the jobs that we white people used to have.
Bernie.
Split people, working class, white against black. Instead of working together to create.
Bernie, what are you saying? Actually, that's a good clip. Yo, that's a good clip. Yo, that's a good clip. Yes.
Affirmative action becomes one issue. All them black people are getting the jobs that we white people used to have. Split people, working class, white against black.
Oh my God.
Instead of.
Oh wait, this is so good. I gotta play it right now. I gotta play. Oh shit, where does that go? All right, wait. Think. Stop laughing internally and think. Damn it. Okay, where are my sound clips? My sound clips are.
I think we have too much fun on this show sometimes.
We don't get a lot done. I've noticed.
we don't get
very far.
While he's looking for the sound clip, the whole reason I sent this video was that Kamala Harris was saying the same fucking things. She was saying that the Republicans want to divide us up and we got to come together. And I saw this clip of Bernie saying this the other day, and it just sparked in my mind. I was like, Bernie Sanders said this like 20 years ago, and fucking nobody listened to him.
Well, he is white. I don't know. I got nothing.
Well, no, he's not. He wasn't a Democrat.
Oh,
he's a progressive. He was in the House, I guess, but he was considered an outsider, a progressive, a loony from Vermont. Oh my God.
It's so good. It came out so good. All right, let's get to I need a blank look. Oh, by the way, y'all, this is all my sound
buttons do you have?
So this is the main page, right? And then I got this one, and then this one is filling up. So we'll take this guy and throw him right there. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. All right, here we go.
All them black people are getting the jobs that we white people used to have.
Yes. It's a good day to be a good guy.
Oh my God.
Working
Sorry,
together
Bernie,
to create
it's too
decent
funny.
jobs for all. Those uppity women now, they want the right to choose. We'll split people on.
Go back.
This might be chock full of clips, Mikey. I don't know.
Class, white against black. Instead of working together to create decent jobs for all. Those uppity women now.
Shit. I wasn't ready.
Instead of working together to create decent jobs for all. Those uppity women now. They want the right to choose. We'll split people on the abortion issue. We'll split people up on the gun issue. We'll split people up on religious issues. You follow what I'm saying? So you split people up,
you get me,
and then they end up, if you're a middle-class person, voting against your own interests, and the rich go laughing all the way to the bank.
Ha ha ha.
And they very often play white workers off against everybody else. And we try to bring people together to say, look, we're all in this boat together, whether you're black or white, whether you're Hispanic. Those uppity women now, whether you're Muslim, whatever you may be, everybody needs health care. How do we create a health care system that works for all people, not divide people up? Everybody knows that the kids, young people, do not make it into the middle class unless they have a decent college education. So how do we make college education accessible to all people? Not an expensive proposition.
Okay, we're getting too far afield.
Yeah, no, so that just popped into my head because I realized that what Kamala Harris is saying is exactly the same thing Bernie Sanders said 20 years ago to a bunch of high school students who could care less.
We'll get to this in a minute.
Yeah. That was what that tangent came from. It just like popped into my mind and my brain was like, oh yeah, you heard this clip before. So,
you've heard this.
The circle
but
will
she's 20 years too late.
Those uppity women now.
What have I done?
Oh no.
All them black people are getting the jobs that we want.
So I'll end with this. I am not here tonight to offer all the answers, but I am here to say this. You are not alone, and we are all in this together. And straight talk, things are probably going to get worse before they get better.
No person.
She's a Marxist.
But we are ready for it. We are not going to scatter. We are going to stand together, everyone a leader, and emerge.
So then why do we need you?
Yeah, Kamala, I think you're making yourself irrelevant here.
Sucking us dry and...
Oh, God damn it.
Tim really hates that one. It's just the right amount of cringe.
Oh, it's so bad. It's not as funny as they were coming all over me. That one's just funny.
Christy says, just looked at the average salaries in the US and UK. I am now depressed. UK, it is around 37K a year. The US, it's around 47K a year. Right. But then you also have to factor in that all of our shit costs more as far as like healthcare.
Health insurance. Yeah, I pay. How much do you pay in health insurance? I pay $500 a month.
Yeah.
So like, you know, there's a reason why I was actually having this discussion with my wife because we were desperately trying to move to Ireland. And the wages that she would make for the same exact job she does now in Ireland is like $50,000 less. And the reason is because it's cheaper to live in Ireland. Even though Ireland may be expensive, it's cheaper to be there and be a citizen in Ireland than it is to be a citizen in America, because the health insurance is such a major factor in like how much we pay in health insurance versus how much you would pay for like nationalized health insurance.
And like, but this is something that the fucking corporations could have just fucking put as a byline item and just paid it. You know what I mean? Just have it be the universal, anybody just go to the doctor whenever you want. And the fucking companies could have just wrote it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that fucking, it wouldn't be that much if the employers did it on their side.
Yeah. Yeah. Scott says it's wetter there in Ireland, and I don't care. I don't care what the weather is in Ireland. It's so much better than this shit country where you have to pay for fucking everything. Like you guys in the UK and Europe, you guys get benefits for your tax dollars.
The cost of
the government.
Okay.
That the government isn't trying to actively destroy.
The cost of petrol is a lot lower in the U.S. than UK, though. Not for long.
Yeah, not
for
long.
long. We're going to be paying
Not for
$6-7 a gallon if this idiot keeps it up. Gas is down 3 trillion%. No, I just paid fucking $3.50 to fill up my truck, dude. What are you talking about?
And like, if I go to a doctor, like one of those walk-in clinics, it costs me money, even though I have health insurance.
Correct.
I still have to pay $75 because my health insurance is shitty.
I was about to say, it's like 50, 75, 80, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I had a copay that was 80.
So yeah, I have copays that are like the walk-in clinics are $75. Specialist is like $75. And I have a deductible. Do you guys even know what deductibles are over there in Europe?
0.
Because I have like a $6,000 deductible. I have to spend $6,000 on healthcare before my insurance covers the cost.
That's fair.
Even though I pay them $500 a month.
Let's see. If you live there, you'd best care. It's #1 subject for conversation. And it's Chrissy says to person impersonator, Farage has said today that we can't continue to fund the NHS via general taxation.
I mean, you can if you're not Nigel Farage.
Farage. The Farage garage.
Hey, I wouldn't trust the fucking word that guy says. He's way too close to Steve Bannon.
Word.
You have a special role to play. Organizing is as important as ever.
25 euros to visit my GP and 38 euros for the dentist.
I wish it cost 38 euros to visit my dentist.
Oh my God. A dentist visit is thousands of dollars.
Oh my God. Once again, I have dental insurance, but there's a deductible.
Man.
I have to
crazy.
If I wanted, because I had a root canal.
Bucks.
I had a root canal, I think it was last year or the year before. It cost like $1,000 before my insurance actually covered cost. This country is depressing.
It's just fucking broken on purpose. Okay. So little mama is holding up her bottle towards the monitor and like shaking it like I'm dying. She's fine.
Hey.
She's
who do you got to slap to get a drink around here?
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. Those uppity women.
Those uppity women now.
Oh my God, Mark and Ollie are gonna love that. Oh, then that's
all them black people getting the jobs that we white people used to have.
Yo, out of context, Bernie is hilarious.
Oh, I think those are the two best buttons on the soundboard right now. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of a break from that. I'm gonna pull this in its own tab here. Own tab you. This is Trump's first 100 days thing with ABC.
Oh no.
We're gonna skip where he talks about
all the dumb shit that's in his fucking Oval Office.
Oh my God! Look at the fucking. Oh my God.
He goes in there like he's a fucking 5-year-old showing his friend, this is all the stuff in my room.
Look at all the gold shit.
It's all fake gold shit, by the way. It's all fucking foam and gold painted shit.
What is this? The mantle looks like shit.
It's like he's fucking in the 1920s and he owns one of those fucking Gilded Era mansions.
What a fucking moron. Okay.
And it's all fake. It's all fake. That little thing, the little wall sconce thing over there.
Yeah.
That is 100% fake.
Yeah. Look at the luster on it. Gold doesn't shine like that.
You can get it on fucking Temu.
Well, not anymore. One Angry Pain said, "I'm no fan of gold. I much prefer silver. I like copper. I like the Bronze Age bullshit. Give me the. I like it with
bronze shit.
I like bronze because if it's buffed and sealed, then it looks really. I think that copper color is super cool. But then if it gets a little little oxidized, that looks cool too. And pennies are great. I just don't think we should spend money on making them. But here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go check on this screaming child who is trying to hold me ransom for a bottle of milk. I will give her milk and probably a snack. Probably some Kix cereal or maybe granola bar. We'll see.
And she's like, Warden, I need to be fed.
She's just dragging the cup against the bars. No, Baba, no peace. No, Baba, no peace. But I will leave you in the capable. So Tim, I'm gonna let this play. I got the volume at like 75%. So if you want to yell over it, they'll be able to hear you.
All right, give me like 10 seconds of it. See how loud it is. See if I can shout over it.
Of presidents. It really is. It really is. So, and it's an honor.
Maybe a tiny bit lower.
Okay.
Mr. President, thank you for doing this.
There you go. That's good.
Here in the Oval Office.
I will return.
It's special. 100 days into your second term. So, what's the one thing, just one thing, that you think is the most significant thing you've done so far in these 100 days?
Ruin the
I think
country.
maybe the border is the most significant because our country was really going bad. They were allowing people to come in from prisons, as you know, and you've heard me say it, but you've heard a lot of people say it. Prisons,
I've only heard him say it.
Gang members, murderers. We had many murders, 11,888, they think. Some murdered more than one person. So you had murderers coming in, you had everybody coming in, and not just South America, from all over the world. They were emptying their prisons into our country. And now it's totally closed down. And you've seen just yesterday, they announced 99.9%. Nobody thought that could happen. And it happened quickly, very quickly. And I think that's very significant. But we're doing other things that are very significant. Results will take a little bit longer because it's one of those, it's complicated. It's many years of trading abuse. We've been abused by other countries for years and years.
Yeah, Trump, what's that trade deal you signed?
We were stupid people.
How many trade deals have you signed?
And I think that's going to be very, very important. But
we have a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, I would really say that the border is so important.
And we'll get there. Immigration, huge, and we're going to get there. But I want to start with the economy, the number one issue for so many people, for just about everybody. It's one of the main reasons that you're back in this office. And now we have this trade war with China that Moody's and other analysts say is going to cost American families thousands of more dollars per year. And there is a lot of concern out there. People are worried.
He said he would bring down prices on day one.
I didn't sign up
day one.
So how do you answer those concerns?
Well, they did sign up for it, actually, and this is what I campaigned on. I said that we've been abused by other countries at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We were losing $3 to $5 billion a day on trade. We were losing
that's not true.
$1.5 trillion to $2 trillion a year. Not sustainable. They would take
that's not what a trade deficit is, for sure.
Never. I could have left it that way, and at some point there would have been an implosion like nobody's ever seen. But I said, no, we have to fix it. I've wanted to do this for many years. I had the best economy during my first term. We had a tremendous economy, tremendous success, and we
had one of the worst economies.
Numbers of tariffs on. We took in a lot of money from tariffs. China in particular, hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. We had no inflation. Where did it all go? As you know, we had an incredible economy. We gave credit for a great economy. But I said, we have to fix this, otherwise it's just not self-sustaining.
One of the things you ran on was you'd said you'd bring prices down on day one, and that it would happen fast, and that it would happen fast.
I have.
Most economists will tell you that tariffs will raise prices. So don't your tariffs cut against that promise you made to bring prices down?
No, because I had massive tariffs on China, if you remember, in my first term, and we had essentially no inflation, like around 1% inflation, which is
that's
like a
not true.
Number.
It was at least 2.5%.
And then when Biden took over, it went through the roof. It went to probably the worst inflation we've ever had. I mean, we had an inflation nightmare. Now, if you look at what's happening now, we're only there for 100 days, as you say. And in 100 days, we took over. We had bad inflation for 4 years, for 2 years of, especially 2 years of his administration. I would say record-setting like we've never seen. They say 48 years, the worst in 48 years. I say it was much worse than that. Yeah. Right. So now if you look at what's happened, energy is down. Gasoline hit $1.98 in a few states during the last couple of days. It was $3.50 and $4 and $4.50. But gasoline is way down. When I took over, you remember the big thing with eggs. They hit me the first week. Eggs, like it was my fault. I said, I didn't cause this problem. This problem was caused by Biden. What's the problem with eggs? And they said, they've doubled. And well, eggs are down 87% since I got involved.
A lot of that is
bird flu. And there were plenty of eggs for Easter, which we just went through. There were plenty of eggs for Easter. They were saying you won't have enough eggs for Easter. We ended.
The price of eggs.
My secretary did a fantastic
job. It's down 20%
on eggs.
Not 80.
Groceries are down. Everything's down.
It's still
Interest
$6 per dozen.
Interest rates should be down, but we have a Federal Reserve that wants to be stubborn. They want to be cute.
We'll get to that. You said something a couple of weeks ago that struck me. You said concerning the tariffs, which economists say are going to raise prices. You said, quote, hang tough. Yeah. It won't be easy. You said that to the American people. Is that what Americans should expect, some hard times?
I've said that during my campaign. Look, we won a campaign by a lot.
It would be very
easy. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by a lot. You know, we had a tremendous campaign. I said all these things during my campaign. I said, you're going to have a transition period. We've been ripped off by every country all over the world. They're laughing at us. They thought we were stupid people, and we were. And I said, that's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen.
Hard times are ahead?
I don't think so. I think great times are ahead. Look, since I came in, gasoline is down, groceries are down, egg
gasoline
prices
is
are down.
The same. I don't know what he's talking about.
Many things are down, just about everything. You know, you don't have the drop in fuel and energy and oil like we did. I took it from maybe $3.20, maybe more than that, down into a much lower number.
This is pretty easy to check. Hold on.
You're not going to have inflation.
Not now, but it's the tariffs, right? We still have 145% tariffs on China. Your Treasury Secretary said we basically have an embargo on China.
Look, you're trying to say something's going to happen.
The day that Trump took office,
you know business.
I do know business.
In the stock market, it was $2.06
on China, and that
right now is $2.04. He brought it down to
prices on everything from electronics to clothing to building houses.
You don't know that. You don't know whether or not China's going to eat it.
That's mathematics.
China probably will eat those tariffs, but at 145, they basically can't do much business with the United States. And they were making from us $1 trillion a year. They were ripping us off like nobody's ever ripped us off. And by the way, we have other countries that were just as bad. If you look at the European Union, it was terrible what they've done to us. Every country, almost every country in the world was ripping us off. But they're not doing that anymore.
I want you to think about the boom that this country has had in small businesses, mom and pop Etsy stores, small businesses that became big businesses.
They haven't had a boom because of inflation.
Well,
the boom was inflationary boom. The people were wiped out.
The boom
was
an inflationary boom.
You read the news. You do the business stuff, I assume.
Now, a lot of them built those businesses on the trading model.
Yeah, and they're going to make more money
They
now.
sourced their products overseas, and now they're looking at an extinction event.
I've been here.
It's a disaster for them.
I've been here for 3 months. I've taken a trade deficit down to a number that's very, very starting to get really good. I just got here. We had a country that it was not sustainable. What Biden did to this country between the open borders where criminals poured into
most of those trade deals were Trump trade deals
in the world
that he
ripping
canceled.
us off on trade. It was not sustainable.
So your message to those small businesses who are saying we can't live a month, 2 months.
What'd I miss?
Trump just lied about the economy for like 10 minutes.
Oh, good.
He said that he brought gas down, and I proved that. Let's see, what was it? The price of gasoline, according to the market, the day that he took office was $2.06. The price of gasoline today is $2.05. So
whoa, hundreds of percents of difference.
Hundreds of percents of difference. And he was talking about how all the other countries are ripping us off, including Europe. And
The country of Europe.
The country of Europe. Christie said, hang on, Europeans don't want your poor food and unsafe vehicles.
Yeah.
So
Daily Blase.
He also said that China would eat the cost of tariffs, which is not what's happening. They're actually just like stopping production and not sending product over here, and we're not gonna have anything
with these tariffs. Apple got a big deal. Is there something for them?
No, not only Apple. We've got $7 to $8 trillion being invested in our country in 2 months.
That wasn't the question.
Biden didn't have that over a year. I mean, if you look at Biden, nobody was really investing in this country. Everybody was ripping off.
He has Biden derangement syndrome. He's got PDS, you know what I'm saying?
Also, the CHIPS Act got a lot of investment.
Yes.
Country. Apple's putting up $500 billion, but that's only one of many companies. Companies are flooding into our country right now.
So your answer to the concern about the tariffs is everything's going to be hunky-dory.
Everything.
And why would we want that? We have lots of companies in America that are trying to make money. You are crippling them, but you're saying that the foreign companies can come in and have their way with us.
Here's a headline from The Guardian I just found. Trump tariffs cause fastest slump in British factory export orders in 5 years.
Yeesh.
Companies today, they're laying off workers, they're slowing down production, and it's causing a recession. And I saw that the new jobs last month was a lot lower than expected, and unemployment, people filing for unemployment for the first time, is a lot higher than expected. Those are bad signs for the economy. It's not.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just doing a chat thing, so you go ahead.
Okay. It's not like, oh my God, the economy is about to crash right now, but these are all signs that the economy is slowing down, and it's because of Trump.
3 things. Russell, 1992, a 10 pence, not magnetic. 2015, 10p, very magnetic. That's because there used to be silver in it. When Angry Pagan says he never heard the question, Mikey. All he heard was blah, blah, blah. All he heard was...
all them black people getting the jobs that we white people used to have.
I love Tesla.
By the way, I think it was America who banned Kinder Eggs because European children were constantly choking on the small toys inside, which they weren't. No, our kids will choke on them.
Yeah,
and
now we get...
not only will our kids choke on them, they might be forced to choke on them because their parents are litigious and they want to sue the company for millions and millions of dollars. So there's not a scenario in my head that doesn't include some shitty parent shoving toys into the kid's throat to make them choke so they could take them to the hospital so they could sue.
I had one of those. I mean, in America, we get the Kinder Eggs, but they're separated, so the toy and the egg are separate. But I got one of the Kinder toys, and I didn't choke on it.
Do you guys think those toys are clean before they put them in the candy, or they just put them in the candy? It's a kid. Who cares? They're immune to everything.
Mikey, what you got to do is, oh no, I'm not going to say it because you're going to play the clip, but you got to suck on it.
Sucking us dry and...
Gonna do what, Tim? Am I gonna suck you dry?
Things gonna be just fine. It wouldn't have been if I didn't do this. I had a choice. What? I could leave it, have a nice, easy time, but I think ultimately you
doing just fine before, sir.
Yeah.
Our country.
I didn't mean to call him sir.
Had inflation that was worse than they've ever had it before. You don't mention that. Why don't you mention that? We had the worst inflation probably in the history.
Yeah, Biden came in there with causing inflation with all that spending he did during my administration.
I know, right? Biden inflated the bond market with all the $500 billion he flooded into it.
History of our country, people say 48 years. Probably in the history of our country, we had the worst inflation, and people.
Everything's always in the history of our country.
Inflation, you know that. Now the grocery prices are coming down. The energy prices.
They're not.
Not true. Not true at all.
Are coming down.
Not true. Not true. Not true.
I looked up the price of eggs. They're still high.
Yeah.
They're still expensive. It's still like $6 for a dozen eggs.
So I'm glad we're at this part and we stopped to make a joke because I want you guys to listen. I remember this part. For Easter, to make sure that they had enough Easter eggs, he imported a shit ton of eggs. Tariff-free, mind you. But he imported a shit ton of eggs. He's going to talk about eggs here right now.
Gasoline's coming down. It's all heading in the right direction.
Okay, let's move on to immigration.
Oh, maybe not.
It is an undeniable fact that illegal
coming up
crossings at
on
the southern
Trump's
border
interview
have plummeted, a staggering decline. But there are questions about your methods.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh.
President Trump, the first 100.
President Trump. The first 100 days.
My skip my skip button was on the volume, so I was just like turning the volume up and down. I'm like, what is happening?
Southern border have plummeted, a staggering decline. But there are questions about your methods, and so I want to ask
about my
methods. About your methods.
You can't hear or see.
How you're.
What'd you say, Sonny?
Do you acknowledge that under our law, every single person.
Kay in the chat says the McDonald's coffee thing is a myth. She sued because the cup was flimsy and the coffee was so hot it gave her third-degree burns. McDonald's ran a whole smear campaign to make her look like a scammer. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I remember.
The coffee melted. The coffee like came through the cup.
Yeah. Man, McDonald's is like the basis for so many fucking criminal enterprises. Did you ever see the documentary about the Monopoly game and like the fucking mob?
Yes, with they were playing the McDonald's Monopoly and the fucking organized crime got a hold of the tickets. Yeah.
And they would just give out prizes to like friends and family instead of like
all their family would win. All their family would win all these random fucking. Oh, you won $50,000, cousin.
Now I know why I never won the fucking Monopoly game at McDonald's.
Because that motherfucker had the Reading Railroad over there the whole time.
Who gets deported gets a hearing first.
You got a whole stack of Reading Railroad.
Well, are we talking about people that are citizens of our country or not?
No, you're not deporting citizens at this point.
Well, let me ask you, did they get hearings
he is.
when Biden allowed 21 million, because I think the number is 20 million people to flow
He
into
thinks it's that number. Not it's the actual number. He thinks it's that number.
This is the language of a trickster, a huckster. It's always
grifter.
Yeah, grifter. It's always in the hypothetical. It's always an if. It's always I think, I believe. Nothing is concrete with him because he needs to be able to move that goalpost so we can take the money out of your pocket. You see.
Country, you had 21 million people that came into our country.
Oh, we need the teacher voice? Oh, from Charlie Brown. That is a good idea. Okay, noted.
Country through a stupid open border, and they were prisoners, and they were people that you don't want in many cases in our country, right? They came from all over the world. They came from the Congo. They came from South. They came from all over the world.
Yeah, fuck all these places, by the way. They're terrible. No one should have those people here.
He couldn't name a single country except for maybe the Congo.
You couldn't say Venezuela, Honduras.
You know, because all these black people.
All them black people getting the jobs that we white people used to have.
From the Congo.
We're talking about some of the roughest countries in the world they had here, including terrorists, by the way.
Hey, Tim, real quick. I know we keep pausing, but apparently people like this.
Yeah.
Who has the most incarcerated people? Like which country?
Well, see, the United States has the most incarcerated people per capita. So for every 100,000 people that we have in this country, we have the most incarcerated prisoners. Like,
wouldn't that make us the bad country?
We are the bad country. Ever since, do you remember the 90s? And
hell yeah, it was
Bill Clinton,
tubular, dude. Fucking good burger, dude.
And do you remember the term super predators?
Yeah, that's me. I'm a super predator, according to the Clintons.
Yeah, so in
no
the 80s
feelings, no remorse.
In the 80s and 90s, we decided that our people needed to be in prison, especially if they were black. And they had a little bit of drugs on them.
Oh my god! One angry pagan in chat says, "Don't." I did a game of name an African country with some friends, and one actually tried to argue with me that Egypt isn't in Africa. We can't have nothing.
Yeah, that's oof. Oof.
Anyway,
now, but did we give them a hearing when they came in? Well, the law requires.
Yeah, do you have a hearing when you come in?
I mean, technically you're supposed to, right? Whether you're seeking asylum or you've just crossed the border illegally, you're supposed to see an immigration judge.
Right. So then when the judge is completely swamped, they say, okay, we'll get to your hearing when we can. Here's a number, check in with us. Here's a social security number so that you can work in the meantime. But do check in with us so that we can get this thing taken care of. Like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
That every single person who is going to be deported gets a hearing first.
Well,
you acknowledge that?
I'll have to ask the lawyers about that. All I can say is this. If you're going to have 21 million people, and if we have to get a lot of them out because they're criminals,
and also 21 million people is not that many people. We could absorb double our population, and most people wouldn't even realize it.
Right. Yeah, no, the United States is very empty.
There's a lot of nothing going on around here, so calm down. The entire Earth population and the population density of like New York all 8 billion of us could fit in Texas.
Yeah, yeah. Like if
we made Texas into a giant city, every person on Earth could live there.
Yeah. I was driving through some of our northern New England states over the weekend, and there's a whole lot of fucking nothing.
Like, calm down.
In Vermont and New Hampshire, and there's nothing in Maine. There's nothing in most of Massachusetts or Connecticut. Like, we got a lot of space.
Oh, here's something hilarious. So, I was going to say this earlier, but now's a good time. My wife texted me. She sent me a couple of pictures. No, not like that. It was of one of the houses that we went and looked at when we were house hunting.
Yeah.
And she showed me that it had sold. And then also it is at this point right now on the market for rent for $23.50 a month.
And how much was the mortgage that you were going to pay?
$250.
So
private equity paid cash for it, and now they're going to get their money back.
Yep.
That is why all of our rent prices are fucking insane. It's like a 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house.
Yeah.
No basement, okay backyard. But it's on well water, which is why I didn't want it.
Yeah, well water. We bought a house on well water, unfortunately, but it's a community well, so like the water company still maintains it, so it's okay.
We had a personal well that we would have had to maintain, and I was like, no, thank you.
I wouldn't have wanted that. I wouldn't have wanted that.
But that's okay. They're gonna rent it off to some people and not fucking tell them that.
The problem that is the housing crisis that is gonna happen is that there aren't enough new homes being built, and private equity is buying up all these houses for fucking rent. Private equity is a big problem in every sector all the time. My wife, she's October, she started working at an accounting firm that had like 50 people in it. And then a private equity accounting firm bought up her firm And then they bought up another firm, and now she works for one of the largest accounting firms in the world. Jeez. And she had no idea that that was going to happen. And she was trying to avoid working for like one of the big four. And now she's basically working for one of the big four. I mean, they're not the fourth highest, but they're in the top 10 now. And she's like, private equity is a huge problem because all these private equity firms are buying up accounting firms and consolidating them. And they're going to raise prices on shit. And like, it's just crazy.
Late stage capitalism. One Acre Pagan in the chat says, is the U.S. Statewide feral hog overpopulation problem being dealt with yet? I've heard they're causing major ecological damage across the Midwest. That's what AR-15s are for, actually. Like that, like no bullshit. Because like if you have a pistol or something like that and you want to get rid of a pig, like, or what are you going to put out poison? If you put out poison, you might kill something else. Right,
yeah,
like
you might accidentally get like
whatever
a dog or something.
Yeah, whatever the pig eats, a deer might eat, a raccoon might eat, and now you got a whole, you know, clearing in a forest of dead animals that you didn't mean to kill. So that's what honestly AR-15s are good for in this country. And before you guys start saying, "Oh, let me show you guys what these fucking things look like."
The feral hogs are such a problem that I think Somewhere News does like a video about it every so often, right? They have like there's like a hogmageddon going on. Like they're the real enemy.
Oh, these are cute.
Pigs gone wild. Researchers found that Texas has the worst feral hog problem in the entire country. Wild hogs cause a lot of destruction.
Brother. Look at them going down like a pack of fucking huskies.
And researchers estimate around $2.5 billion in agricultural damage each year. And hogs in Texas.
So there you go. Now you get a picture of them on the move. Like, look at the size of this fucking thing. Look at the size of this fucking thing. Now imagine you're just going off on a little nature hike and 30 of those big motherfuckers decide, I don't like you, I'm going to knock you over, let's eat them. Yeah, they're not good. Like, they're not good. And an AR-15 is the only thing that's bringing that fucking thing down. It's like fucking World War Z out there.
Like, can weigh as much as 400 pounds.
400 fucking pounds.
400 pounds. That's like 3 people.
That's like a linebacker. No, that's an offensive lineman.
Data was collected by researchers at the University of Georgia and published on behalf of the company Captain Experience.
Hope you're not driving on the highway, and then that thing just like walks out in front of you. You are fucking cooked, brother. There's a fucking roadblock in the middle of the road.
We're going to have to act fast. We can't. Do you think we can give 21 million trials?
Yes.
Let's say each trial.
Mikey, I don't know if we talked about this on air or not, but that Mike Waltz guy who was leaving his national security post.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Trump just nominated him to be ambassador to the United Nations.
The guy who leaked?
The guy who leaked, yeah. That's why he's leaving.
Wait. Who did they get rid of? Because somebody was already the United Nations. It was a lady.
Oh, it was, what's her name?
And then they must have got rid of her.
Elise Stefanik?
Yeah. So where's she at now?
She's trying to get back into Congress because she left her congressional seat to be UN ambassador, but then she was never going to get confirmed. So she's trying to get back into Congress. They're trying to figure out like some sort of legal loophole to do that. And now this dude is going to be ambassador to the United Nations.
Just gonna vote with Iran and Russia.
Yeah, the guy who fucking let a journalist into their secret signal chat.
Chrissy says all we have in Burton is rats the size of small cats.
Takes 2 weeks. Is that what you want us to do?
The law is the law, sir. The law is the law, and you're
the law doesn't say anything about trials.
No, not trials, hearings.
Yes, it does.
They're not citizens.
Like, this is for all of y'all who keep telling me he's doing 4-dimensional chess and he's so smart. Let me explain something to you. I want let me grab the link and put it in the chat. I want everybody to watch this at home, at their leisure, with a large alcoholic drink, whatever you need to do. You watch this and you tell me that this man, if you've had anybody who is sundowning or has had any mental decline, or has had any, geez, my own voice, homie is slipping. Like it is so fucking obvious that homeboy does not know what's happening right now. He is confused permanently. That is why he's so frustrated all the time. And if you have an elder family member, you understand that they get unreasonably frustrated about things. That's because what they remember and what's actually happening in the moment are not lining up. Their reality is sliding away from the reality that the rest of us share. And it's frustrating. So typically people have to be patient with them, and you have to remind them about what is and what isn't. He has no one to control him. He is an old, confused, dumb ass. And the world is a scary place.
And I would just like to remind Trump and everyone who watches that the 14th Amendment says that the state should not deprive any person, not citizen, not whatever, any person who lives in the United States or who is in the United States should not deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, or deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of the law. So whether or not they're citizens, their immigration status does not matter when it comes to due process of the law. They are allowed to have a judge declare whatever, and they're allowed to bring their case in front of a judge.
Well, shouldn't 2 of his kids be deported?
Which ones?
The one Melania had, the 2 Melania had.
Oh yeah, without any due process, throw them on a plane straight to El Salvador.
Because I mean, that's what he's saying. That being born here doesn't mean you're a citizen. Dumbass, the fucking rule book literally says those exact fucking words. If you're here, you're a citizen.
Yeah. If you're here.
That's it. That's why they call them fucking anchor babies, because we couldn't fucking deport the kid because the kid was born here.
I mean, that's the very first part. Any person born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction hereof are citizens of the United States.
And originally the 14th Amendment came out because there was going to be some sort of like controversy between like you weren't a citizen of the US, you'd be a citizen of Maryland or a citizen of Virginia and all that stuff. Like they were separate. There wasn't this like huge federalist push that we have now for like federal IDs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't exist back then. So they just wanted to make it clear that everyone born, so even if you were born in Maryland, you were still a citizen, a US citizen if you went to Virginia. But it also has the fallout of anyone born here is a federalized US citizen. You belong here now. This is your homeland now. That's what the rule book fucking says. If you want to change the fucking rule book, fucking get out there in Congress, have them draw some shit up, get us into a constitutional convention, and then we can have a vote to see if we want to change it, or like with prohibition, add a new amendment to denature or defang a previous amendment. Do it. If you think you can do it, do it. But you won't do it because you know you don't have the fucking support for it, which is why you're trying to do this shifty, underhanded shit. Which is why, because you know no one believes what you believe. You're just a paranoid, old ass, confused, scared old man who is lashing out as your little candle burns a little less bright every fucking morning. God damn it.
They came in illegally. They came into our country illegally. We have to get them out.
There's a legal process for that.
I can't, sure, and we follow the legal process. I can't have a trial, a major trial for every person that came in illegally. We have thousands of murderers that came in They're going to murder people. They already have murdered people in our country.
Right, so
we have to get them out, and we have to get them out fast.
Really bad guys, but in our country, even bad guys get due process, right?
If people come into our country illegally, there's a different standard. These are illegal.
There's not.
They
it's
came
the
in
same.
illegally.
He made
it's
that
the
up.
Same. He made that up. He's making it up right now. He probably made it up before, but if they're murderers and they've killed people in this country, well, then they have to go to trial. Because that's how laws work.
They get due process.
Well, they get a process where we have to get them out.
He doesn't know, and this is just like the tariff thing. He doesn't know what due process means.
He doesn't.
He doesn't understand what that encapsulates and like what the phrase actually stands for. Like he doesn't understand it. And he's too old and stubborn, and this is a good face for him. He's too old and stubborn to really understand what's being said. He thinks he kind of has like the vague outline of it, and he's just going with it. He doesn't get it. He's been given due process for years. All of those court cases, he's been presented, like it's all gone. He's stalled so that his shit wouldn't fucking make it in time of the election. He delayed due process on purpose so that he wouldn't get in trouble.
You know what? He knows all about due process.
He doesn't think that that's due process. He thinks that that's just his lawyers being smart. His lawyers have tricked him into thinking that due process is something that he needs to spend millions of dollars for. And there's no way that these people can afford lawyers like I got. So they won't get the same treatment I get from the criminal justice system or for immigration courts. They'll never get due process like me. He doesn't know what it is.
They will never get due process like him because we do have a two-tiered fucking justice system. There's the rich who can afford to do whatever they want. He's a convicted felon, and still he's president of the United States. So he is right in that respect. Like, if you can't afford a judge, or you can't afford a judge, if you can't afford to buy judges and have expensive lawyers, then yeah, you are part of the second tier of the justice system, where the government has all the power, and you basically do whatever they say.
And Scott in chat says he knows, Mikey, for fuck's sake. He knows, but cares not. I hear what you're saying. Like the callousness, I'm not saying is not there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying like he's like this super empath or something like that. I'm saying he doesn't get or understand that everyone is entitled to what he's talking about. He thinks due process is this like other thing. He's like, yeah, there'll be some process. No, it's due process, stupid. It's not a separate thing. It's the same thing. Like he just does, like he wants it to be another way so bad. He's not listening to the own fucking words.
Country illegally, there's a different standard. These are illegal. They came in illegally.
But they get due process.
Well, they get a process where we have to get them out. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Venezuelans.
They get whatever my lawyers say.
Right. All right, let's talk about the Venezuelans.
And then there's the coward move, you know, the big strong guy, but he always has to defer to somebody else, you know.
He deported more than 200 Venezuelans to that prison.
I can't see that being true, Mikey. He knows the correct thing, but is just not giving a shit. Okay. I think he's 60% dumb, 40% cruel, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with you. Like, I think it's a large percentage, but I think it's a little bit, I think he's a little bit dumber. Not to give him, like, shoot him bail or anything like that. Like, I still think he's a fucking horrible person. But I think he's not as bright as a lot of people are saying that he is. Because you can tell when he's trying to play stupid, he talks a lot. But when he actually doesn't know something, he just genuinely looks befuddled. You know what I mean?
In El Salvador, you say they're violent, they're gang members, they're terrorists. Many of them don't have a criminal record at all. But
here he comes.
I'm not so sure about that if you take a look.
I want to read you something.
Excuse me, when you look at those people, they were violent people.
Oh, where is it?
They were violent people.
But many of them don't have a criminal record at this point.
I don't know.
That's what you say. Based on their lawyer, what their lawyers have said. Okay. Joe Rogan said this. Joe Rogan, one of the leading podcasters, Trump supporter.
Those uppity women now.
Deportation of Venezuelans. He said, quote, rounding up gang members and shipping them to El Salvador with no due process, he said it was dangerous and added, quote, "We got to be careful that we don't become monsters while we're fighting monsters." Is Joe Rogan right?
Oh, I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about anymore.
Like, brother.
We want to be careful, and we are careful. We're doing...
You're not being careful because you're not providing due process.
He's doing the opposite of being careful.
Yeah.
Something that has to be done. We have a country that's very sick. Joe Biden, and it's...
We're fine. Everything's fine until you fucking showed up. We're fine.
Not him, because I don't even think he knew what the hell was happening. But the people around him are vicious people. And what they've done to the country is unbelievable. They've allowed...
They went to work. They got jobs. They had families. What are you talking about?
21 million people to pour into our country. Many of these people are criminals. They've allowed you mentioned Venezuela, the jails of Venezuela to be emptied into the United States. Do you know Venezuela crime is way down? Way, way down. You know why? Because their criminals are now...
Because all the people fled and they couldn't be fucking accosted by the cartels and the gangs anymore. Maybe that's why the crime is gone, because the people ran the fuck away.
Living happily in the United States of America, and we're getting them out. And I was elected to get them out, and we're getting them out.
Under the law.
And we're getting them out fast, and we're getting them out legally. Now, in some...
No, you're not. You're literally not.
Some cases, we have judges. In some cases, they're radical left judges. What happened the other day?
Judges that
radical left. Radical
left. Judges that he appointed. Those are his judges.
You can't prove that he did that.
They were a judge
probably good.
A criminal was...
And Diz, hi Diz. Yes, the gang started in the U.S. Yes.
Yeah, MS-13 is a U.S. gang.
Started in California jail.
Horrible. And I think she's got big problems, frankly. And there are a couple of them like that.
I want to talk about one minute.
We have to be treated fairly by judges. And we're not being treated fairly by all judges.
Oh, that's a subject. So you're saying that you don't like some of the rulings, some of the court orders?
Yo, shout out to this ABC guy. He's just as good. Kristen Welker, is that her name? She's very good as soon, because Trump loves to embellish everything. So as soon as he says something, they go, "Oh yeah. Tell me more about that." And then he just ends up saying things even more chaotic.
I think the rulings will be overturned, yeah.
Let me ask you about one man and one court order. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, he's the...
Oh, here we go. Here's the money shot.
Salvadoran man who crossed into this country illegally, but who is under a protective order that he not be sent back to El Salvador. Your government...
From a judge.
Sent him back to El Salvador.
Due process.
And acknowledged in court that was a mistake. And now the Supreme Court has upheld an order that you must return him to facilitate his return to the United States. What are you doing to comply?
Well, the lawyer that said it was a mistake was here a long time, was not appointed by us, should not have said that, and...
But they did.
Just so you understand, the person that you're talking about, you know, you're making this person sound, this is a MS-13 gang member, a tough cookie, been in lots of skirmishes, beat the hell out of his wife, and the wife was petrified to even talk about it.
I know he's not talking about abusing women.
Right?
I know he's not talking about abusing women. I know he's not talking about, I'm going to protect women even if they don't want me to. Even if they don't want it, I'm gonna protect you.
This brief tangent on this.
Yes,
one of the panels I was on, the political science conference, one of the papers talked about the difference between what was it, hostile sexism versus benevolent sexism. And hostile sexism is basically that women are too uppity. Play the clip.
Those uppity women now, they want the right to choose.
I was listening and reading.
Split people on the
reflexes are bad.
Anyway, hostile sexism is that women are too uppity and they need to be taken down a few pegs and blah blah blah. Benevolent sexism is what you're talking about, where women need to be protected, and that men must protect them, and
only men could protect women.
Only men can protect women, and it was a very enlightening paper. About that subject and about women in politics. But that is exactly what Trump is talking about. It's benevolent sexism. I mean, Trump is also exclusively the only politician who uses hostile sexism to at least a degree where it gets him votes. No one else, no other politician has ever used hostile sexism the way that Trump has to win votes, calling women nasty and those sorts of things. But yeah, just another thought that came to mind that that's what this is. It's benevolent sexism.
There's an ugly wolf in here. Hi, puppy. Do not start barking again. I don't think they're working on the neighbor's house today, thank God. He's fucking hammering all fucking morning. I'm like, and the dog's like, someone's at the door. I'm like, oh my God, is this all day? Oh my God.
Adam, okay? This is not an innocent, wonderful gentleman from Maryland.
I'm not saying he's a good guy. It's about the rule of law. The order from the Supreme Court stands,
He came
sir.
into our country illegally.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
You could pick it up and with all the...
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you just say? I'm sorry. What? Let me run that back for you, sir.
Illegally.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
You could...
Oh.
I could.
So you're not doing it on purpose.
He knows. He's not doing it on purpose.
Hope the Supreme Court doesn't see this.
Pick it up, and with all the power of the presidency, you could call up the president of El Salvador and say, send him back right now.
And if he were the gentleman that you say he is, I would do that.
But the court has
he's
ordered
not.
you to facilitate that.
I'm not the one making this decision.
Yeah, Kay says benevolent sexism equals we must protect white women because they are our property.
I mean, basically, yeah. Honestly, that's the whole trad wife thing, right?
I invested in this woman.
We have lawyers that don't want to do this.
But the buck stops in this office.
No. I follow the law. You want me to follow the law? If I were the president that just wanted to do anything, I'd probably keep him right where he is.
That's what you're fucking doing.
That's what you're doing
right now.
The court says what the law is.
Listen,
you know what? That needs to be a clip, Mikey. That needs to be a clip.
He's so stupid. We should run for office.
I have. It doesn't work out.
Yeah, but with me.
I don't want to do this.
But the buck stops in this office.
No. I follow the law. You want me to follow the law? If I were the president that just wanted to do anything, I'd probably keep him right where he is.
Supreme Court says what the law is.
Listen, I was elected to take care of a problem. It was a unforced error that was made by a very incompetent man.
Yeah,
a man
Trump is
that turned
Mr.
out to be
Unforced error.
incompetent that you always said was wonderful, a great genius, right? And now you find out all of the media now, they're saying what a mistake they made. A man who was grossly incompetent allowed us to have open borders with
Are you talking about Pete Hegseth?
millions of people flowed in. I campaigned on that issue. I wouldn't say it was my #1 issue, but it was pretty close.
Right up there.
I campaigned on that issue. I've done an amazing job. I have closed borders. He said you couldn't do it. You wouldn't be able to do it. It would never happen. Well, it happened, and it happened very quickly.
Chrissy says I nearly spat my drink out when he said he follows the law.
Okay, wait a minute. When we have criminals, murderers, criminals in this country,
Yeah, January 6ers, go on.
we have to get them out, and we're doing it.
By law.
Deporting the January 6ers, finally.
What do you do for all those January 6ers?
What's the opposite of deporting? Pardoning.
Oh, that's right. He said that you can go on committing crimes. It's fine.
And some of them did. People died from him releasing those January 6ers. That girl had a fucking DUI crash where she killed a family. 3 times the fucking legal limit. She'd still be,
You know why, Mikey? Because
Those
they're white.
uppity women now. They want the right to choose. We'll split people on the...
And you'll pick out one man, but even the man that you picked out, he said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a
Yeah, in Comic Sans font, everyone gets that tattoo.
Oh.
Everyone gets the 10-point Arial font MS-13 on their hand, right?
Can you imagine being the tattoo artist? And then you finish it, and he's like, "All right, Holmes, you looking good, Holmes." And then he's like, "Hey, what if people don't know what this means?" Oh shit, you're right. Let me get my stencil out.
Yeah.
I want to.
Are you sure you don't want Times New Roman?
Nah, you know what? Give me Arial. Because I need it to be read from a distance. Give me Arial. It's the best for signs.
Well, wait a minute.
Courier looks better.
I know, but it looks too much like a typewriter.
Wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
Like, he does not get how that picture on the right is like the biggest self-own possible. Look at his face. He's like, see, this is the guy who I got.
Got him.
So stupid.
He did not have the letter MS13.
It says MS13.
Yeah, that was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime.
They couldn't possibly do the worst Photoshop you can think of.
It was very obvious.
Onto a photo.
It was intentional.
He wanted his hand to look like it was Photoshop.
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime.
You fucking Chris said do it in wingdings. There's the jokes I'm looking for. That's the shit I'm looking for.
I picked you because
I'm thinking I'm getting Mikey and Tim tattoo in Arial Black.
I've never heard of you, but that's
get italicized for mine.
Bold, underlined, and italicized.
picked you, Terry.
I want superscript.
You're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
Yes, Terry. This is where Terry fucked up. Terry should have been like, yeah, go get the picture.
Go get the fucking picture, bro. It's probably in his desk somewhere.
You know he jerks off to that picture.
I saw the picture. We'll
and you think
agree
it's
to disagree.
Photoshop. Well,
Here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine.
No.
Mr. President, that is a photo of Dan Aykroyd. The tattoo is supposed to say Elwood.
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. He's the only fucking politician who'll be like, no, I'm wrong and this is why, instead of avoiding the question. He could just move on. The reporter wants to move on.
Like, he's like, dude, just let it go.
He's like, no, I am absolutely 100% certain that on that guy's hand, in fucking Courier font, it says MS-13.
It says MS-13.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be. Nothing.
Oh boy.
This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El.
Oh boy.
Where's the Trump people? Trump people. MAGA. Calling all MAGA. MAGA, are you out there? Are you in the chat? Are you hate watching right now? Hey, MAGA, if you're hate watching right now, please say something.
Like and subscribe.
Well, yeah, you'll have to subscribe. I need to see one new subscriber from a hate watcher. I need an explanation for this, because I know one of you is out there hate watching.
That's okay. I'm going to clip it up later, and we'll see what kind of hate we get in the comments.
I'm just saying, like, hey, this is for the clip. Hi. Please explain this. He clearly is old and confused, right? And then he refuses to admit he's wrong, right? You know, out there in Trump land, that MS-13 is not on his knuckles, right? Or are you dumb too?
And like, we're not talking about the tattoos that are already on his knuckles. Those are, like that reporter said, those are, you know, they can be interpreted a number of ways. We're talking about in that photo right there, it says in clear letters and numbers MS-13, like it wasn't fucking photoshopped on his hand.
Oh my God. This is the hand of the man that the Democrats feel should be brought back to the United States because he's such a fine and innocent person. They said he is not a member of MS-13, even though he's got MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. And 2 highly respected courts have found that he is a member of MS-13, beat up his wife, etc. I was elected to take the bad people out of the United States, among other things, which I forgot. I must be allowed to do my job. Make America great again. Oh my God! Why do I even
Soros,
look?
communist judges, and SCOTUS, the Democrats did with Biden. Be the executive branch. Do what you were elected to do. We, the people, know they lie, cheat, and steal, and murder when they can. We know they will impeach Trump again under false allegations, and the Republican Party will say their hands are tied. Wow, they're really going after everyone except for Trump in that little comment there.
Everybody's at fault except for Trump.
Wow, even the Republican Party. They said this is an immigrant. This is a immigrant. Learn proper grammar. I love how everyone's like they said. Who the fuck is they?
They said somewhere else, get this man the up out of here.
Cool.
Is that
Truth
hell
Social
backwards? But she did double H instead of double L?
Is this Instagram?
Yeah, this is Instagram.
Oh, I was about to say Truth Social is a wild place, but damn.
It's easy for POTUS to claim it's real because he knows many of his followers are bereft of critical thinking and follow him blindly. Champagne socialist nailing it. Yo, this flag is crazy.
Oh my God.
All right, let me get back to what we're talking about.
So in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's
Diz got it. People are saying.
They aren't
so
there.
many people are saying.
Back in the chat. What up, Beck?
They weren't there, but they're there now, right?
No,
But
they're in
now.
your picture.
Terry,
Ukraine, sir.
he's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
We'll take a
The reporter's like, all right, you want to dig the hole? Fine, whatever.
I tried to get the shovel out of your hand, but if you're going to just yell at me for trying to get it.
He was like, please, sir, I just want to talk about Ukraine. And Trump's like, no, I have to prove to you that I'm right.
My two boys, Dexter and Zero, have finally become friends, I think.
Well, that's good.
But they're so annoying. They're like always licking each other and fucking like hanging out. And I'm just like, dude, get out of the way, the two of you. Now they're chasing each other around here.
So Dexter's a cat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My two dogs lick each other all the fucking time. And it's weird.
Like he's just like licking the scruff of his neck. Just like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, he's fine. He's not dirty. And your mouth is not making him clean. You're just making all this gross sounds. And I'm just like, what the fuck is that? Oh, God.
They have to lick each other, and then they have to lick me, and then each other again.
No.
And I'm like, guys, this isn't good.
Leela's a good girl. She just sleeps in her cat tower until my wife gets home. She's like, I am not dealing with these people.
It's you do such a disservice.
I am a princess.
We'll take a look at
Why
that,
don't you
sir.
just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested. Ukraine.
Coming up,
Bro, that ABC, you could have slammed him right there, man. You had him.
Trump's like, why don't you just agree with me, and then we'll fucking move on?
Right. Just agree that, the earth is flat, and then we can go on with the interview.
Why do you have to be so difficult?
I would have just got up and walked out.
Yeah, I would have been like, all right, bye.
This
I don't
interview
need to be here.
I'm like, this interview's over. If you're not going to be honest, sir, this interview's over. Sorry. Goodbye. No, get the lights, get all the rigging. Bring that with. Come on, we're gone. We're done.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm fucking out of here. Cameraman, follow me out.
Start unplugging shit and putting it into the tote bags that we use for remote things. Because they got them totes.
He's sitting in St. Peter's Basilica talking peace.
Yeah, Chrissy agrees with us. Russell says saliva is naturally antiseptic.
Gross.
It's still everywhere.
Take us into that moment.
Well, look, Ukraine is a very serious, very tough situation.
Oh,
and
is
this
it?
is Biden's war. This is not my war, but I want to see if I can solve it because probably close to 5,000 young soldiers a week are being killed, Russian and Ukrainian.
And that's why we turned off all of their satellite communications so they couldn't monitor the troop locations from the opposing army.
And that's why we forced them into that minerals deal that we forced them into, so that they could give us their natural resources, because for some reason Trump needs rare earths.
Chris Ann did say, how was it Biden's war? You know. You know why it's his war. You know why.
Because Trump never does anything wrong. Nothing is ever his fault.
Those uppity women now. They want the right to choose.
Hillary.
Split people on.
Hillary did it.
We also spend a tremendous amount of money in Ukraine, and Europe should be spending much more than us. They're not. They're spending much less. It's been badly handled by the Biden administration. It's been badly handled all the way around,
That moment.
The moment was a moment of solace, in a sense, because tremendous numbers of people are dying. A lot of his people are dying. They're being killed. And I feel very badly about it. That's a war that would have never happened if I were president. And it didn't happen for 4 years.
Yeah, but you lost to fucking Joe Biden, fucking loser.
It was never even a thought of it happening.
It does feel like something's happening after that meeting with Zelensky in St. Peter's. You posted this on social media. There was no reason for Putin to be shooting missiles into civilian areas and cities and towns over the last few days. It makes me think that maybe...
Well, that was part of my post, but you're right. That was a part of it.
He copied and pasted it. He's not going from recollection, you dumb shit. He's reading it. Of course that's... Oh, my God.
And it says, it makes me think that maybe he doesn't want to stop the war. He's just tapping me along.
Yeah, that's possible.
What?
What?
Putin tricked you?
Just like he tricked every president.
No way. Putin tricked you? That Putin is a trickster. He says one thing and he does something else. I can't believe... How could this have gone unnoticed?
It's like he was a spy or something.
That's why I'm introducing 7,000% tariffs on Russia. Because he tricked me.
By the way, Russia still does not have tariffs.
Well, we're not supposed to be doing any business with them anyway.
Yeah, except for,
all the business that we do with them.
All our vodka imports, I guess.
Yeah.
He could be tapping me along a little bit. I would say that he would like to stop the war. I think that if it weren't for me, I think he'd want to take over the whole country personally.
He wants to, regardless of who's president. He does not care about Trump being president. He only plays to Trump sometimes so that Trump will give him whatever he wants.
I always felt. So when I left, there wasn't even a chance that this would happen. When Biden got involved, I won't say whether or not he handled it properly, but obviously it wasn't good because the war started. Putin went in.
I thought you were going to say you weren't going to say.
The war started. I believe that Putin wanted to get all of Ukraine once he went in. And I think part of the reason he went in, he saw...
Chrissy, America only has to pull one aircraft carrier into the water. And they're going to be like, you know what? Ukraine, you got it. That's it. You're good.
Yeah. No, that's all it really takes. I mean, as long as our airplanes aren't like sinking into the ocean as they fall off the aircraft carriers.
Unless somebody forgot to fucking chain them to the deck. For fuck's sake. Rolled off the fucking edge of an aircraft carrier. I can't fucking believe it. $60 fucking million into the fucking ocean.
Well, we have a Fox News host as fucking Secretary of Defense, so.
Well, maybe it'll make some coral reef somewhere. God damn it.
What happened in Afghanistan, how incompetently Milley and all these guys handled that. It was one of the greatest
Trump's deal in Afghanistan.
Of our lifetimes, but maybe in the history of our country. Okay. So Putin went in. I think Putin wanted all of Ukraine. Right. I think if I didn't win the election, he would have gotten all of Ukraine.
And that's such a weird kind of like pseudo strongman thing to say. It's like, you know what? Now that I'm here, it could have been much worse. It's actively bad. It's currently bad. It's baddening. It's embattening itself.
I like how his observation is like, well, I think he wanted all of Ukraine, to be honest. Like, like we all didn't know that when his initial thing was to invade and capture the capital of Ukraine. What else would make you think that he would want the whole of the country?
Diz nails it. It's strawman revisionism. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know, in my professional opinion, I think he wanted the whole country, but now that I'm president.
Poll says no, a Navy SEAL will later find it and destroy it if they can. Right. Well, I don't know. I think, where was that one at? Was that one in the Red Sea, huh? I don't think it's that deep. We could go get it.
I mean, that's what they think they can go get it.
Dude, you can fucking put a rover down there, and then you take the rover, and the rover's on a little tether, and it sinks, and then it's got arms on it, and you can attach compressed air canisters with life rafts. Like they literally just like inflate balloons, and then they raise the up to. Just go get it. God, that's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, that's probably expensive.
How are you gonna get it out though?
That's true.
What are you gonna pick it up with?
They got crane helicopters. You could probably attach it to one of those airlift helicopters.
There's got to be something on the plane, like some sort of hook.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
engineered in there.
It's a Navy plane
for recovery.
Yeah, there's hooks all over the place on that fucking thing.
Like the rally cars have that. You know, they all have that little hook in the front.
Yeah.
Just so you can pull me out.
I think he would have taken all of Ukraine. I think his first choice, never with me, he would have never gone in.
Chrissy, that nuke is now lost. It was sold.
With this group of losers, he went in, he saw what happened in Afghanistan. He said, wow, this is my chance. Because it was always the apple of his eye. I talked to him. Ukraine was the apple of his eye. I think he wanted the whole country.
You said for months
because of
the
me,
apple of his
I
eye.
believe that he's willing to stop the fighting. Don't forget,
think he wants
this
peace?
is
You think Vladimir Putin wants peace?
I think he does, yes. He does.
He doesn't want to stop the fighting.
He's so dumb.
He called in North Korea and Iran
to
be like, guys, I need troops and ammo. Let's go.
And the North Koreans got addicted to porn and were completely useless and got captured.
Really, his dream was to take over the whole country. I think because of me, he's not going to do that.
Do you trust him?
I think.
Want to put your money where your mouth is, Trump?
Yeah, right.
Do you trust him?
I don't trust you. I don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust you. Look at you. You come in all shooting for bear. You're so happy to do the interview.
I am
and
happy.
then you start hitting me with fake questions.
What the fuck is he doing? Fake questions? What is this guy doing here? Like, what the fuck?
Dude, it's not on his fucking knuckles. This is the thing. Like, anytime anyone corrects him, he can't drop it. He can't be wrong. Being wrong in his head means daddy doesn't love me. And he has like this fucking switch that is just like fucked up in his fucking head where he doesn't get that adult men and women, but I'm just talking about the men right now. Adult men, we're probably wrong about 35% of the time. And then we have to go back as men, apologize, admit we were wrong, and move forward. If you can't fucking do that, you are going to remain at 14-year-old boy stage. And that is where he is. That is where Elon is. That's where all these fucking weirdos are. If you can't take being wrong, then stay a kid.
Yeah.
Adults have to be wrong sometimes and fix it.
All right, Mikey, let's
power through.
Wrap this up because I gotta go soon.
Whose hand is covered with
Go nowhere.
Doesn't have the tattoo. You know. All right. I mean, you're being dishonest.
No, I'm not.
Let me
No,
just
I'm
tell
not,
you,
sir.
I don't trust a lot of people, but I do think this. I think that let's say he respects me, and
let's for the sake of argument, for the sake of theoretical argument, let's say he respects Trump.
Which everybody can tell he doesn't.
I believe because of me, he's not going to take over the whole, but his.
And why is the negotiating line at the whole country? Bitch, you're not allowed to come in 1 foot to a fucking country that don't belong to you.
Yeah.
So why is the bargaining chip the whole thing? No.
Decision, his choice would be to take over all of Ukraine. Okay. It's a war that never should have happened. It did happen because of incompetent people.
Last question on this.
But it never should have happened.
If there's no peace deal, will the U.S. cut off military aid?
I don't want to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you whether or not I would or not. I want to leave that as a big fat secret because I don't want to ruin a negotiation. But
I'd be worried.
I will tell you, I was not happy.
I'm sure J.D. Vance will tell everyone.
Shooting.
Pete Hegseth, wait, I'll get a signal group fired up right now.
Missiles into a few towns and cities, and that
Trump tetchy.
That was not something that I like seeing, and I thought it was inappropriate, but I think the whole war is inappropriate. Okay. Again, it's a war that shouldn't have happened. This is a war that if the election weren't rigged, and it was totally rigged, the 2020 election, if it weren't rigged,
I love Tesla.
Have that, you wouldn't have had the embarrassment of Afghanistan. You wouldn't have October 7th with Israel. You wouldn't have had any of the problems that you have right now.
I want to ask one question.
You wouldn't have had inflation either.
All right, I want to ask one
yeah, okay.
Question about Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. There's a lot of turmoil at the Pentagon right now. There's the signal.
All right, going forward, Tim, to save us on time, we're going to do a rolling stop, which means I'm not going to stop it. It's just going to roll.
Chat with his wife on it where he's discussing that attack in Yemen. There's another signal chat discussing the attack on Yemen. There's a reporter accidentally involved. You said the other day that you had a talk with the secretary. Did you take him to the woodshed?
I had a talk with him, and whatever I said, I probably wouldn't be inclined to tell you. But we had a good talk. He's a talented guy. He's young.
Yeah, right.
He's smart, highly educated. And I think he's going to be a very
He's
good
also not smart.
Hopefully a great defense secretary, but he'll be a very good defense secretary.
He's already a terrible one.
100% confidence in
I don't have 100% confidence in anything. Okay.
Wow.
Anything do I have 100%?
Do you believe in Pete? I don't believe in fucking anything.
It's pretty important.
But that's the grifter take. He can't confirm or deny anything.
Correct. Can't nail him down to one position.
100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence that we're going to finish this interview.
We will.
Let's go.
Oh, he said we will.
Coming up, President Trump on
Bye, Jan.
Elon Musk.
All right.
Of health. The question I think people have is, did
I just fucking pause it after I just said that? I did, didn't I?
You did, you did.
Fuck, man.
Did Doge go too far, too fast, too reckless?
No, I think Doge has been saved $150 billion. We saved, that's a lot of money.
It's not as much as you spent so far. God damn it.
There's also a lot of things under investigation, which is going to increase that amount by a lot. That's a tremendous amount of money. There were some things where, when I heard about them, I put them back, as you know. There are things that I'm considering right now putting back, but overall we've saved hundreds of billions of dollars.
Well, the original promise was $2 trillion to $1 trillion, now to $100
billion,
and heading south.
You don't know what it's going to be because we have things that are at a very high level that are being looked at right now.
Yeah, Social
Security. We also found tremendous waste fraud.
Medicare, Medicaid.
As you know, we found a lot of fraud. There was a lot of fraud. Fraudulent things were taking place.
Here comes another good question.
And we ended that, and those people are going to be suffering because of it.
A legal note, fraud is a crime. There have been no referrals to the Justice Department on any.
Well, you don't know that, do you? How do you know that?
Because they have to put it in court.
It's his fucking job to know that.
That there were no referrals.
Because you have to file things in court, and those are public. So yeah, no, it didn't happen.
I'm asking you, sir.
No, you're not asking me. You made a statement. You're not
now I'm asking you.
That was a statement that you made. There have been.
Oh my God, let it go.
Have there been? Yes, there have.
So there have been referrals for fraud from the work of the judge.
Take a look at some of these things that took place. Billions of dollars.
He doesn't understand.
People for no reason whatsoever. Of course they have been.
I want to bring up what is truly one of, to a lot of people, one of the biggest achievements of your first term. That is Operation Warp Speed. You got that COVID vaccine up and going and distributed, and a lot of people took it.
a lot of fraudulent things.
Saved by it. Now we have this measles outbreak, biggest in a decade in Texas.
That was Biden.
People aren't getting their children vaccinated. Do you recommend
Biden made
get
measles.
their children vaccinated for measles?
Well, I recommend the governors to make the decision.
It's the only disease named after me. That's why it's called measles.
And he's making decisions, and those decisions are going to be made rapidly. This is a very much different thing than COVID in terms of rapidity and speed and other things.
Rapidity.
Measles is a long time. And I'm
only
not saying good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just saying that the governors are making the decision. It's a federalist decision.
The president is our leader in
Wait,
so many ways.
Wait, is it the governors or is it federal?
And your
He doesn't know the difference.
So much, and you can't.
He doesn't know separation of powers. Come on.
It's a good thing to get a measles vaccine.
Do I recommend it?
Yes,
I do. I recommend it. Yeah.
Got it. That was
do I
my
mandate
question.
it? No.
No, I didn't.
But I do recommend it. Yes.
Good. Do you think you're?
And I have recommended it.
Do you think the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has a history of, at the very least, vaccine skepticism, do you think Kennedy recommends the measles vaccine?
He did. He recommended
His office did. He never said it out loud.
He did. He
never said it.
Yeah, I mean, he recommended that they go out and get the vaccine.
He recommended vitamin A.
Right.
Still ahead.
I'm asking.
Still ahead.
The justification for going after people you don't like.
Ooh.
I
can't turn away.
Given you, right? You've revoked a lot of people's security clearances. You've revoked people's security details who are.
Yeah, he dropped the Secret Service for Biden and
death threats.
Kamala.
You've gone after law firms because they've employed people you don't like, or they have represented people you don't
obviously
like.
agreed because
which is entitled to all public people for life.
Is because you were threatening to destroy their business with your executive order that said you can't represent clients for the federal government. That's their bread and butter.
Boys. These are the biggest, most powerful lawyers. These are not.
You got a lot of leverage
easily intimidated.
As president, you've got all the cards.
And they paid hundreds of millions of dollars.
Nice flattery.
Because they felt, I guess, they probably felt they did something wrong.
It was for survival, sir.
No, it isn't.
You're crushing their business.
These firms are very powerful firms, and there's 15 of them. And these are firms that probably, look, you have to ask them. In fact, this is a separate story. You have to ask them, why did you all pay Trump hundreds of millions of dollars in services?
Because you extorted them.
Why did you do that?
Right.
I don't know.
You don't think that
he is a walking
thing that,
deposition.
Well, we admit no wrongdoing, but you know, it's like one of those things. And now I'm friendly with those firms, but it's
you're not friendly with them. They just capitulated
in the world. And they just signed whatever I put in front of them. I've never seen anything like it. I'm actually surprised myself in a certain way. But they obviously felt they probably did something wrong. I guess that's why they signed.
Oh, my God.
I guess the question out of that is the concern that people have. Are you using your powers as president to get personal revenge?
No, I'll tell you.
Yes.
I tell you what, you're really not asking, and you should be asking.
Oh, here we go.
There has never been a president in this country, in the history, that was persecuted like I was persecuted by really crooked people, dishonest, horrible people, and it's been proven. So when you say I'm treating people rough, I'm not treating people rough. I was treated worse than any president.
Because you committed crimes.
And
so many crimes.
People figured, well, maybe that's it. Finally, we got, he's leaving.
He couldn't stop committing crimes.
And then I came back, and I came back because I have tremendous support. When you win an election like I won it, and you will admit I won all 7 swing states. I won the popular vote.
I had to turn it off.
700.
I was like, I'm making a grilled cheese. Fuck this shit.
2,750 districts compared to 500 districts. That's why the map is all red. And those people feel that I was treated unfairly.
But does that give you the right to go after your political opponents with the powers of this office?
I'm going after. All I'm doing, hey, Biden did something to me.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Let it go.
Biden derangement syndrome. He's grossly incompetent. That's not a man that should be allowed to, be looking at things that are very confidential.
But what about?
Because 71 here's a man that used an auto pen to sign very important documents. Now, who really is? Do you think he knew that they were using an auto pen? I mean, he used an auto pen.
Yep, angry pagan
to sign
boo-hoo, I'm a victim.
Very, very important documents, and. So those are really the questions you should be asking. What do you think of the auto pen? Who wielded the auto pen? Because whoever that person was,
Trump's used auto pen before.
The person that wielded the auto pen, he was really the president of the United States. Because I don't think that Biden knew anything about it.
Fair enough. But you are the president now, and I'm asking the justification for going.
He doesn't know that.
You don't like.
No. People that I think are dishonest. It's not that I don't.
Very much so.
Most of them. They're people that I think
people made you angry.
He doesn't know anybody, but he's going after everybody.
These are people that I think are very dishonest. I don't think they're worthy.
Being dishonest is not illegal. You should fucking know.
Top secret information. I think that's fine. And Biden did that with many of our people. But when you look at it,
Many of your people are
Are
criminals.
worthy. That's my
Yeah,
decision. It's
Steve
not a
Bannon
question
lost
of
his
anger.
fucking security
Okay.
clearances. You're goddamn
I
right he
understand
did.
you just had a phone call with the new Canadian premier, and they just had
Keeping our elbows up, bud.
You were a big issue in it, and Canadians, many of them, are really angry, furious about your talk about.
And
we're
they
gonna
are
take
ready to
over,
whoop our
Canada's gonna
fucking
become the
ass, dude.
51st.
I know, God.
They are ready to
Kind of
fight
is a piece.
us.
A lot of travel is down into the United States from around the world. It
doing
feels
really-
like there's been reputational
Country's
damage.
doing great.
Scott says there
Prices
should be
are
flies
down,
coming out of his mouth as he
gasoline's
speaks.
down, energy's down. Tourism is going to be way up. Wait till you see the numbers.
Gonna be.
The tourism is way
Gonna
up.
be.
Now Canada.
They're scared to come here.
Tourism's doing very well. We're doing very well.
No, it's
We're
not.
doing very well. Wait till you see the real numbers come out in about.
What
in
real
6 months
numbers?
from
What
now.
the
Wait
fuck
till
is
you
he
see the
talking
numbers.
about?
But do you
In
think,
6 months from now,
if
yeah.
I may, do you think the reputation of the United States has gone down under your presidency?
No, I think it's gone way up, and I think we're a respected country again. We were laughed at all over the world. We had a president that couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, couldn't walk down a flight of stairs.
To our international audience, are they laughing at us around the world currently? Because I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, I didn't realize that was New York Times. I'm not giving you money anymore, New York Times.
Nah, fuck that shit.
You lied. I was trying to find
Person impersonator? Yes, I want an honest reply.
advanced bookings for Canada-U.S. flights in April-September were down over 70% compared to the same period in the previous year.
Yeah. Hey, I saw on CNBC that domestic and international flights are getting cheaper because they're not able to fill the seats.
Yeah.
Walk across the stage.
Part of that is, you know, our FAA is not.
Yeah, people are scared to fly.
Yeah.
He's a laughingstock. Respect some of the citizens, the country.
All them black people getting the jobs that we white people used to have.
God damn it.
We had a president that was grossly incompetent. You knew it, I knew it, and everybody knew it, but you guys didn't want to write it because you're fake news.
All right. Thank you.
And by the way, ABC is one of the worst. I have to be honest with you.
Okay. Thank you for the opinion, but more importantly, thank you for having us here. I have one more question.
Planes
It's a
are
big
flying
one.
empty,
It's a
says
question
Diz.
that you know a lot of people have out there. What do you say to people who are concerned you are seizing too much power and becoming an authoritarian president like we haven't had before?
No, I would hate them to think that. I'm doing one thing. I'm making America great again. We have a country that was failing. We have a country that was left at all over the world. We had a leader that was grossly incompetent. He should have never been there. The election was rigged. He should have never been there.
Is he talking about the
Our
president
country
2
suffered
presidents
greatly,
ago?
And now our country's coming back like nobody can believe. I have editorials just today where they're saying they've never seen anything like it. They love it. Our country's coming back and we're respected again.
The Wall Street Journal is definitely saying that,
Thank
but
you
not in the way he thinks.
Once again, we want to thank President Trump for inviting us to the
Oh, look, there's the fucking
Is that what you were talking
Yeah,
about?
dude, look at that. He's lined the whole edge of that side of the White House lawn with those fucking posters. Let me do full screen so everybody can see this shit. Look at that. Look at these. This is trashy. This is not dignified. Where's the fucking decorum?
Oh, that's long gone. Only the Democrats adhere to that now.
Why don't you just carve the fucking bushes in the swastikas, you know? Just do that. Just paint paint the whole White House gold. Just do that. Why don't you put some more fucking half working cyber trucks that are fucking recalled? Just put those all over the fucking lawn. And then put the pictures on top of the fucking cyber trucks. Like, just fucking trashy bullshit. So embarrassing. So
All right,
embarrassing.
Mikey. I think I've had enough.
Jeez.
Also, we have
They're
to
pictures of oh, sorry, Russell's saying in the chat, who are they pictures of? It's pictures of immigrants, documented or otherwise, who have committed crimes, he says.
Yes, quote unquote crimes. It's stupid and deplorable. So.
And we're right on board with you Europeans. This shit is what did she say? Oh, it was good. Oh no, Russell said it. Said we weren't laughing when Biden was in. Now it's not so much laughing, more shocked and horrified. Yep.
Yeah. Shocked and horrified, I believe, is the theme of the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And it will probably be the theme going forward, or it'll be normalized, and we'll just be numb to it like we are numb to everything else.
Unfortunately, we have too much empathy, I think.
Yes,
because
and they don't have any of it.
Because for us, this place is home. It's not perfect. It's got a very fucked up past, but we want it to be better. And we can't make it better unless we know what's wrong with it. So that's what we do. We're showing everyone in hopes that maybe some international pressure can make the dog bark. Can start putting our thumb on the scale in the right direction. Because this is not who we are. We don't do this. And I don't care how many idiots vote for a moron. This is not who we are. And even though they have hijacked our government, as it would seem, it could always be hijacked back.
That is true.
And also this.
All right, so we're going to do another show today, later on in the evening, Unbox Politics, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only time. People in your other time zones.
But before we leave, let me thank the fan funders. Get my air horn ready.
Yeah. You got a bunch of them now.
All them black people are getting the jobs that we white people used to have.
I didn't see that coming. Tons of Mice became a Bindependent media fan. Thank you, Tons of Mice. Alistair, 2 times 2 $5 super chats. Chris C became a Bensider. Alistair did 5 gift sub memberships. And Darren, 10 British pounds. Scandalous! We love you. We love you.
And
it's with a heavy heart that we have to let you guys go for a few hours. And then we will be back.
Yeah, we'll be back, and we'll make fun of some politicians.
I don't like Elon Musk. I'm going to say it 50,000 times.
I got some Jasmine Crockett for us. So
yeah. No pineapple today. I vote no pineapple tonight. God damn it.
We're gonna have it easy today. We're gonna do some good stuff.
Ooh, person impersonator just triggered a memory for me. He says, "Laters, Binman. What if we were the Bennett men?"
The Bennett men.
Yeah, instead of the Minutemen, we could be the Bennett men. That'll be our militia.
The Bennett men.
The Bennett men.
All right, Mikey.
Bennett. Binnit. Oi, bruv, it's the Bennett men. That's funny. All right, my wife's home. I'm gonna get yelled at.
Yeah, take us home.
Okay.
Not particularly.
Sorry, wrong one.
Sucking us dry and
there it is.
God. Those uppity women now. They want the right to choose.
It's so good. It's so good.
That one's going on the Unbox too. We're gonna review that because that's hilarious.
Ow! Oh my God! You killed me!
I love you. I really do. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Those uppity women now. They want the right to choose. We'll split people on.
Oh my God. Out of context, Bernie Sanders is hilarious.
Two of those when I went through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway.